787.
787 departure frequency time will be 1257.
257, thanks.
What's the music gonna be like on this?
Music? Who said there's going to be music?
Oh, do you do your intro before or in post?
I'm doing it right now.
Oh.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to SciFi And Friends podcast. I think this is episode number 38. I kind of lost track within the last few episodes. They just kind of, I don't know, I haven't kept track since last year. But, yeah. Check out the Patreon account. It's up and going. Donate to us. We accept Bitcoin and all other forms of currency, including Litecoin, Tittycoin, Ripple. What's so funny?
But preferably Bitcoin.
Hey, Tittycoin's worth at least a penny.
The fact that all these are actually true.
Yeah, that's sad. It's insane and sad. Alrighty, let's just get right to it because I have no sponsors and there's no need to ramble on any longer. But I have two very special guests today. Both have been on the podcast before. It's been a while for both you guys. Introducing in the left corner, blue hat, end of the table, it is Kaleb Clark. And sitting across the table from me in all of his legendary and majestic beauty, it is
I'll go with that.
Collin Crossland.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for coming on.
It's good to see you.
Look at those audio waves. Those are mine. So this is a second three-person podcast. Usually it gets a little crazy with three, but you guys seem pretty mellow.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, down in Bentonville.
Yeah, I love that we actually haven't caught up yet.
Yeah.
So we literally walked in the door, we poured some whiskey, and they had some coffee, and now we're just catching up after like a couple months of seeing each other.
Quite a while.
It's been a while.
I think the last time you were just down in Tulsa, like you were passing through Tulsa, to Tulsa, swung by,
yeah.
said hello, went on your way.
Yeah. I like to do that. It's fun that way.
And the last time I came up to see you was when I flew out of Kansas City.
Yep.
That's
right.
And you weren't even there. You just let me
No,
stay.
I just let you stay at my place.
Yeah. We just infiltrated and stayed the night.
Yeah, Caleb did that too.
Yeah.
You guys think we just haven't visited yet? I have nothing to say to you guys.
He's like,
That's
I know everything about you.
I know
what you're
you
doing.
both.
No, Caleb's been coming down weekly. His job is here.
Yeah.
His life is in Wichita.
There's a very delicate balance that you can strike. I have yet to strike it, but hope is on the horizon. Certain things fall into place, and my wife doesn't divorce me, then we're gonna be fine. It's all gonna be smooth
She's
sailing.
listening to this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
she will.
Courtney
What's
doesn't
up?
mean it.
Yeah, what's up, Courtney? But she supports you as far as I know.
Oh, she's behind it 110%. She fully comprehends that a 9 to 5 is basically like, I don't know, like getting IVs of arson or arsenic. Is it arsenic?
Arson?
Sorry, no, I'm not
burned
guilty.
alive.
I'm not guilty on all counts
Wow.
for that. No, like arsenic or mercury, like you just eat it. It's slow and painful as it kills you.
Yeah.
And she's just like, yeah, I think you were meant to kind of work in this field and this like just kind of as you go, your schedule's constantly fluctuating, or it rolls with weather and production schedules and people's availability, and it's just.
Do you not like consistency? Is that?
I thrive in chaos.
Oh my God. Absolutely. That's my job too.
Oh, well, I was gonna say that's probably why we're all friends.
Yeah. I'm actually this is an interesting subject, but I'm just now relearning how to be monogamous after.
Oh.
Yeah. It's my first real relationship in
Right.
like
She's listening too.
7 years. She ain't listening.
Monogamous.
Yeah.
She on
Wait till I tag you.
Monogamous. Monogam. What is
Yes.
that? Monogamous.
So what's that learning curve like?
It's
Your last woman was like.
no, it probably freaks me out that it's going so well.
Oh right.
Like, I'm not scaring her, and that has never happened before.
You should probably try to scare her.
Like, I don't
at
know.
least once.
Like, what do I do with my hands? I don't know what
Right,
to do
yeah.
with my hands. So she's come over to my place like 3 in the afternoon whenever she has like a day off.
Yeah.
And I'll be like writing on the windows about what my workflow
I saw
needs
that.
to change
Yes,
to.
I think it was on Instagram.
And I'll be like pouring wine at the same time, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I didn't know you were coming over."
But she's cool
I
with it?
texted you. I'm like, that was like days ago, man.
That was 2
hours ago.
Yeah,
Good
exactly.
Lord.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, she handles it. I think it's because she works with children.
Maybe so. She's like,
Basically.
She's an experienced school teacher.
she's like
so.
5 hours ago, my students were in their boxers, writing on the windows of the school, pouring their apple juice, and now I come home to
And
you.
now I come home to this.
It's full circle. It's full circle. I literally use Collin as a scapegoat, which is like I'll work all night and be up for like 36 hours, and then I'll sleep like 12 hours. And Courtney would be like, it'd be nice if you were awake when I got home. I'd be like, Collin does it all the time. Do you not like the way Collin works? Because that's the way I work. So thank you inadvertently for being my whipping boy.
You guys actually both work at night.
Mm-hmm.
You're very productive at night.
Well, it's just because there's no one else. It's besides Caleb.
Like
usually.
long
He's
period.
he's like
You guys are
favoriting
Skyping
tweets of
each
mine
other.
at like 2 a.m. I'm like, I'll text him. I'm like, go to bed. But yeah, I mean, that's the best time because no one bothers you and
Right.
no one can pop into your office. It's like, hey, this would be a wacky idea.
Right.
No, I don't.
How often does that happen?
We have new people now, like that come into the Kansas City office, and they're not aware of like my hours or stuff, and they're like, hey, you do all the digital media for Crossland, right? I'm like,
no.
Yeah, I do. And they're like, cool. Well, I need some help with something. I'm like, you got to get in line.
Right.
Like, there's a pecking order, and
Right.
it goes at who screams at me the most. So it's like top brass, and then just slowly work your way down, and you're down here somewhere where you can affect my day to day.
Right. 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 And we're just gonna pile more people on top of you.
Oh my god, I had a new girl tell me the other day
Oh yeah.
that I should switch my hours to daytime to better accommodate her. And I was just like, go out of this office right now. Like,
I'm sorry.
it's fine. She's new. She doesn't know the pecking order.
Right.
Yeah.
What is like the project list? Like, are you working on
Right now.
Yeah. Right.
So-
How's the Crossland flow work?
Oh, good Lord.
So for the last 6 months, I've been trying to press an idea called Crosscast, which is an internal broadcast channel inside the company. So because none of our people are opening their emails, and
Okay,
we're
right.
getting such a bad hit rate, like no one's clicking through. We sent out a crazy good video I did the other day, and we only got like 200 hits. And I was like, this is terrible. And I told the president of the company, he had everyone go out and like, hey, did you watch it? And they're like, no, we had to right click it to see all the images in the email. And I'm like, duh.
Right. That's how this works.
So we're trying to supercut that and create a culture where people can just kind of chill around the screen in the job trailer,
Right.
and watch what's going on. And that way, it's like they're watching TV, but
Right,
they're really
right.
watching our TV. It's
Right.
like propaganda.
CCC propaganda.
But like my workflow is this week I filmed 2 secret places. I don't want to talk about it.
We'll talk about it off air.
But it was in Arkansas. And
That narrows it down.
And then I had 3 meetings, one with IT, one with marketing, and then one with the president of the company. Oh, and then legal. So I had 4 meetings.
Nice.
And so that was day 1.
Monday.
And tomorrow I'll go and film a bunch of mentor programs going on at Crossland right now where they're building like a playhouse and they can learn their
Oh, cool.
skills. Yeah, they build like playhouses and then we give it to like neighborhoods. and
That's
stuff like
cool.
that. Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a good learning curve.
What, college kids?
Yeah, and then
Nice.
I'll go back to Kansas City either tomorrow after seeing my nephew, and then I'll work all night so that I can go to Excision with Caleb after I finish a video. And then Thursday I have an education course that's required by Crossland. It's called Smith Driving, and I'm not excited.
Not that you're making a
No
video
one's
for
gonna.
her, but-
Yeah, but no one's gonna teach me how
I
to
hope they
drive.
don't mind that your face might be missing from raving it off.
And I probably have.
Who are you?
I have like 8
I'm
videos
Collin.
in the pipeline. Like
So I mean,
Filmed.
that you.
not produced yet.
Oh wow, that you pitched like you're like, hey, this would be a good idea, or like is it like a mixture of some of your ideas and then like some other like business like
A lot of
upper
this,
management
a lot of
coming
this has
through?
come from me and Caleb.
Okay.
And you talking about how Pepsi does all their marketing and production in house.
Content studio.
Well, I'm
paradigm.
trying the content studio, yeah, and so I'm trying to figure out the best way to get internal marketing changed in our company because communication is the biggest weakness in construction. So from there, if I can create a culture where people just kind of tune in because it's fun and they enjoy it,
Right.
it's also educating them outside of their own job. So they're getting to see what's going on in Texas, Kansas City,
That's cool.
Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
So from there, you can build.
So like you can remember like when we did the managers meeting, like remember you were interviewing people. Is that something like
Me
kind
when
of
I
what
was
you're
drunk
doing?
and singing Star Wars.
Yeah, it was, we could pull.
I
that
don't
up.
handle
I could
open.
pull that
I don't
up.
handle free liquor very well. Like
Duck farts
I've noticed
were
this about
awesome.
myself.
Remember duck farts?
Do you remember when they told us how much they paid?
Yes.
Yeah.
I still tell the story.
It was $20,000
Open bar, 20,000
for like
for
Where is-
2.5 days, 3 days,
200, 300 dudes.
Yeah.
200 dudes, probably 200.
and 4,000 shotguns.
yes, a lot of shotguns.
And when is this happening again?
Oh God, dude,
I might
it was
use them,
awesome.
actually.
It was fucking great, dude. It was so much fun.
It was
I
not.
will walk.
I did not handle it well.
But but is that like what you would do? Is kind of like interview people like on the job site, or like would you design a
We-
channel with shows on that channel and then like have producers produce certain shows?
I have.
Are you
different
making
shows.
Vice for Crossland?
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what I'm doing, but I'm doing it by myself.
That's
which
tough.
Sucks.
Why don't you get producers
I know.
and
Brick.
just like he
Oh.
produces some sort of show, like the drone show. I'm the drone show.
What I'm happy is that Caleb was like getting himself ready so that I can just sweep him up. I'm like, welcome to the chaos. You're gonna
Good
love
luck.
this.
Yeah, right. No, if you made
And-
Vice for Crossland, I think that'd be awesome.
I mean, I
It's super
have
cool.
different shows that
Yeah.
I've created, like project updates, which is just drone videos,
Right.
and then like division updates, which is
Yeah.
interviews with division managers and
Yep.
their PMs,
Right.
and then going over what's going on right now and how their stuff's different from other markets, and then fun videos like
Yeah.
the superintendent's retreat,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So
You were doing like some personal interviews too. Like, wasn't there one guy that was like feeding everybody? He had been on the job site for like, I don't know, 20 years.
yeah,
It was a while back.
yeah, that video didn't get made.
I just remember I thought that was cool.
But
'cause
yeah,
you
we
were-
did that. We filmed this guy. He ended up actually quitting. So by the time I
See,
was
that's the
able to-
problem.
By the time I
right?
did, yeah. So you lose all that footage
Right.
immediately
Right.
because it's all useless.
Right. I've pitched that idea to Downstream a lot, but their turnover rate is like crazy high.
Yeah,
So
so-
you do like a crazy cool interview of such and such manager and what they've done, and then by the time you edit it,
Oh, yeah.
they're fired.
Yeah. So
Shit.
I asked HR the other day, how many people leave Crossland every year versus hire, and they said 700 people leave Crossland every year.
Versus how many you hire though?
I don't know. He wouldn't tell me that.
700.
Yeah, but we retain about 1,700 plus employees.
Oh, okay.
But
so
Yeah,
Still-
so it's a huge turnover.
that's a lot.
But I
Where
mean,
are they
that's
going?
50%.
Where are they
practically.
going?
I don't
Other
know where they're going.
construction
Well, a
companies?
lot of people get weeded out because of drug testing and then just incompetence,
Yeah.
and then they go different career paths.
Right,
It's just a
right.
number. of
I'm probably
reasons.
not good for the producing position. I'm quite high on
You
the
have
incompetent
you have
list.
prescriptions for all your
Don't worry,
drugs.
yeah, that's
No,
the
I
other
was
part.
talking incompetence.
Oh yeah. You have plenty of that too.
The prescriptions try and help that, but it's hard to bridge the gap sometimes.
No, I think that's cool. I think Vice, like a Vice type network for Crossland, would be cool. All
I think,
internal.
I think for big companies that are like national and they're spread out so far,
Right.
and I think it's important to keep everybody like that. Like we want to keep a family feel across them. Like,
Right.
we want everyone to feel like they're part of something bigger, and the best way to do that is to show them something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can create a culture of where they tune in because it's just cool or it's got good music, or
Right.
just if I hit all these bullet points, they'll tune in on their own. Spanish subtitles. That's
Well,
key.
it's, I got
Absolutely.
I got a guy.
Absolutely.
Well, it's cool. It's easy. It's a lot easier than
I
an
just
email.
I've
you
been
know?
Caleb knows I've been texting him. I'm like, I can't believe like they're not
I'm an
buying
open
in this.
vent.
I literally got approval today to launch next week.
Nice.
Finally.
Launch.
Perfect.
6 months it took me. But if you factor in that it takes about 3 years for the construction industry to change, I'm shaving off about 2.5 years of
months.
progress
That's good.
here.
That's good.
And the fact that you had to build the platform to host it on pretty
Yeah.
much from the ground up with help of IT or tech or whoever
Yeah,
else.
actually,
What, like
Kelsey's
internal
company
servers
Limelight.
and stuff?
Kelsey's company Limelight helped me along with someone in IT.
Nice.
And together we kind of created this simple code of where it just logs in on its own,
Nice.
or like it'll start playing on its own,
In the email.
and then it'll go to the next video, and then the next video, and the next, and it'll stop after 20 videos because
Jeez.
we don't want to suck up all the bandwidth in the world and pay
Right,
outrageous costs, so it stops after 20.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, we do, but baby steps.
Right.
Baby steps on taking
See,
over the world.
Hey, do you remember Channel 3, I think it was, at Riverton? It might not have been around when you were there.
Similar concept.
Vaguely.
Exactly the same
Yeah,
thing.
same
You,
thing.
you know about it?
Just it's announcements, video announcements.
Yeah,
right?
but it
Like-
was
like
made
a-
by students.
Yeah, so
so
you-
it was like they'd go around. There's
so
a new
if
teacher in
students
town.
in a high school
Oh,
can do this,
and it worked really well.
why can't a billion-dollar company?
It got news to the students
Yeah.
really well. Like,
You know why?
there's a new
'Cause
teacher
no
in
one wants to
here.
read shit.
No, of course not. Of course not. No.
But
you could do
hey,
interview shows. You could do all kinds of shit.
enough about me. I've seen some of the work you guys are doing for Tucker, and it's
Oh.
really good. First of all, his place is amazing. My dad was like, "I'm going to this place."
Whoa.
My father, who's had the same person
working.
cut his hair in Columbus, is like, "This looks dope." Like,
Oh, it looks amazing.
He might have not have said dope,
That's how he
But-
interpreted it.
but he's like looking at Caleb's stuff and being like, "I'm gonna go here."
Yeah, dude. I mean, that place is amazing. Then I was telling Casey today that Duncan started. Duncan, what's his last name?
Collister.
Collister. Duncan.
Oh, a new
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
to work with
Duncan
Tucker?
kind of like commanded half of Joplin area as far as barbershop goes, and then Tucker kind of got that other half.
Oh, cool.
Well, now they're under the same roof. Like
So
Josh
they just-
Davis.
they have a monopoly.
They have a
basically.
monopoly.
That's
over it.
amazing.
I know. Yeah, Josh Davis. I always try to get him to go to Tucker. He never would. He'd always go to Duncan.
They're gonna be able to hire
They
their own
are.
bar staff.
Oh, they are, dude.
so
They are.
cool.
There's what, 4 more spots for barbers?
I've planned
4
all
more
this out
barbers
of my
to go.
head months ago. You guys are just now catching up.
Dude, no shit.
I
I was
actually believe that.
no shit. I was listening to the 40th round podcast last night when I was uploading some of the newer.
40th round. What is
Think
that?
about it. Think about
Oh.
it. In your apartment, you,
Yeah.
me, Corey, and him.
Whatever happened to that guy? That host?
He's sitting
I
right
think
here.
he died.
He got married, but see,
He died.
the very
he,
end of it,
Courtney?
dude. I don't remember what year was that. 2015.
20. I was in the
No,
middle
13.
I was in the middle of Stowe's. It was
2014.
2014.
2014.
It was at least 3 years.
2014. You end the podcast. You can go listen to it right now. You end the podcast with my cousin Tucker Taylor is in.
That was my first
in the
studio.
progress. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
In the progress of opening up his own barber shop.
Dude, that place.
That's how far back it goes.
That
Dude.
place echoed like crazy.
I know.
And I was like, I feel so bad for Colton
I
having
know.
to edit all
He
this.
fucking edited it.
I literally,
Oh yeah, you edited.
probably 4 years ago, probably the first time we went over to Diane's Cutting Edge,
Yeah. Yeah.
when I still have his cover photo from his first barber page
Yep.
saved. It's
Yeah.
literally just bricks,
I still have
and
a
it
photo
says
of
Tucker
Caleb
Taylor.
over your lap,
barber.
shining light.
Yeah.
It was that trip, and that was
That
the first
exists.
time I ever ran into you, and we got on the same page. Well, I was hanging back from.
Oh
the
yeah,
mic
you
there.
you
Yeah,
you
this-
showed up. Corey showed
I had
up.
always known Caleb, but that was the first time we really talked and worked together and
Yeah.
started hanging out.
Well, you just live in
from
20
there.
feet from.
Yeah, well,
cutting edge.
You're like, I'm down the street. I'm like, I'm on
Yeah.
my way.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing anything.
Then Corey came over.
Mhm.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was
Even prior to that,
609 days.
I had told
Yeah.
Tucker, I was like, dude, you just need to take out a small business loan, get your own shop, fill it with stuff, build it, and
Well,
they will come.
Thankfully, it happened the way it did. Like it happened pretty perfectly.
It was good timing on all parts.
yeah,
You know, there were
Dustin
certain
hooking him
things
up.
that
Have
had
you
to
been there
happen.
yet?
I have not.
We should just
I
go
don't live
storm
here.
it tonight. That's true.
He'll be there tomorrow. He's expecting me over there tomorrow.
Are you gonna be around?
I will be here tomorrow, but
should
I
go
gotta,
check it
I gotta
out.
go see my nephew. But after that, I'm free.
Oh, we should go check it out, dude.
Yeah, I'm down.
You should like it.
I would
You
love
should
to
like
see
it.
it.
You should like it.
If you don't
I've
like it,
seen the video, so
You
I've
will like it.
basically been there.
True.
it is sick, and it's got he has a projector. He needs to start hosting a weekly movie night / poker night / cigar night / whiskey night / rave night. I don't know.
Well, he's got downtown City of Joplin events there, right? I saw
He
he,
had a
he,
wine-
he
They did
hosted an event.
They did
He had
have
a
a
wine night.
Oh, that's
sharing
cool.
thing.
tasting.
Right.
How many people you say showed up?
I never heard.
Oh, I mean, 150. I mean, there's a ton of
That's
people.
awesome.
There's a ton of people.
Dude.
So it's a perfect spot for
But
that.
isn't
kind of
that exactly what you want whenever you help out a client? Like, that's what
yeah.
you want to
Oh,
see.
yeah.
That, like, you help build their brand, and their brand is taking off. And,
stuff. Oh yeah.
and eventually they're like, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, he's got to
"Oh,
pay us
that's
someday.
sad."
Yeah, we're like, hey, Tuck. So
I will take that fucking ugly fox and throw it in the ocean if you don't.
He
pay
can
me.
either pay you, or I will buy him Jaeger shots at JB's and make him take them, like I did, like they did the last time I was in
He'll
town.
take them.
Yeah, he will.
He will.
I
won't
do.
stop.
No, he doesn't
It's
know
impressive.
when. He's going. Caleb said he's going through his college days.
Well, Tucker was homeschooled through high school. He went to Riverton up until like 8th grade, and then
he bowed out.
Yeah, he finished being homeschooled as far as like his GED went, and then I'm not sure how soon after that he went to barber school
Potent.
or whatever else he's there calling.
It's like ethanol.
Dude, Booker's.
It's good.
Booker's is hardcore.
It's really good.
Good God, I have green tea because I care about my body.
How much sugar's in that?
So let
green
me
tea?
Doesn't matter.
Let me ask you guys something. So, when Tucker approached you about promoting the new barbershop,
Okay, we got to stop there. We went to him.
Tucker has never approached us.
Tucker doesn't
I pretty
understand.
much said, "Here's what's going to happen."
Yeah, we
Tuck.
forced him
So,
into
okay,
it.
We're
well,
gonna film
either
you.
way.
Tucker walked in and we both looked at him and we thought gold mine.
Who was the director?
On what?
Who would you say was the director between the two?
Colton's the director on most everything.
It's just
on
shot
Tucker
for shot.
stuff?
I'm
Yeah,
more
Tucker
client
stuff.
management, and by management I mean lack
cousin
of
management.
management.
But you
Cousin
can edit.
management.
I can edit. I prefer to edit.
Well, you edit most everything that we've done for Tucker.
Well, that's
in
pretty
fact, probably
Yeah.
100% you
And
edited.
I only learned as of late is to quit sending him drafts.
Oh yeah.
So just
Just
don't.
send him
Yeah,
the finished
just
product.
start.
Oh, never
No.
send drafts to people that like aren't
nope.
ready.
Well, Tucker's bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the one we called with your poem or your writing or whatever? What did we call that one?
It was Test the Water.
Test the water. Remember, we shot this like test the water. It was slow motion shots of Tucker, and he did this voiceover. Really cool, really cinematic. What? 12 hours later, we get a phone call like, "Hey, you guys
So
get that video done?"
here's my
12 hours.
Oh, dude, maybe less.
here's my thoughts.
Because he's a caller. He does not text. He refuses to text.
Yeah, sure.
We have a theory on his texting, or like his just lack of texting. That he calls and he'll be like, "What are you done?"
How's it going?
I'll be like, "I could have texted you back quicker than we could probably have this conversation."
Yeah.
Because whatever information he is seeking or he wants to give you, it's done within the amount of time it would have taken to send a text.
A simple response.
His fingers are just lazy, despite the fact he's a barber.
More
There's
people
a lot
open
of
text
irony.
messages than they do email. I've recently
That
discovered
makes
this.
sense.
That's why SMS
So-
updates are.
That's what I'm doing now.
I don't know. I
for
love
Crossland.
email. I love email. Maybe because I order a lot of stuff on Amazon.
Because it's
so-
easy to ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's always they're good emails. They're like, "Ooh, yeah, something's coming my way."
Dude,
You
I get
can
like-
ignore
I get
text
like
pretty
200
easily.
emails a day.
Oh, I did not get
It's
that.
awful.
I get like 10.
Just people trying to sell me something. Or
Oh,
some
really?
Blah, 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 blah,
Sell you
blah.
like what? What are they trying to
Well, I
sell?
mean, I don't do social media anymore, so but
What?
I still get emails about people trying to sell me services for social media. I'm like, have you seen my following? I'm good. Don't worry about it.
Like, what do you mean you don't do social media? Like, you don't.
I'm out of social media.
You don't, like,
so,
post Instagram?
my department is expanded with like more people in administrative roles.
Oh, you're talking Crossland. You're not
Yeah.
talking personal.
No, I don't have. Not my studio is pretty much done.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, I meant personal, like social. I was like, I think you're pretty active on social media.
Yeah. Well,
Collin
actually,
Crossy?
I'm way less active. on
Well,
Instagram.
less active than.
I think
You got
Collin
a girlfriend.
Crossy.
The old-
You got a girlfriend. There's a link.
that
I
is
promise.
probably true.
Hmm.
That is terrible.
If it's not a cat video, then you're just out of luck.
That's yeah.
Just to interject right quick, I have to get this off my chest. I'm a man. I'm a grown man. And I'm a proud grown man. And I hate that I love my cat. I hate it. And you know what I hate even more? I hate the fact.
Remember when he was talking about the cat when he first got it? He's like,
I hate the
this
fact
cat.
that on Instagram,
I've seen it.
I go to these cat accounts. I don't follow them, but I have like the link saved to them.
No, what you,
And I don't like them. I save them.
what you hate
Oh,
is that you have developed an emotional attachment to something, and you were worried about what happens. Like, how am I going to deal with this when it's no longer on this earth?
Shit.
Oh no, I could still kill that thing pretty easily. Like she's
doubt it.
totally replaceable.
That sounds like
And-
denial to me.
But I can't live without the cat.
I think the cat would kill you long before you ever killed that cat.
You guys didn't catch that. I was trying to make a joke.
Oh,
It's like,
sorry.
I could totally live without her, but the cat, I would miss.
Oh, gotcha. Courtney caught it the first time.
Come on, guys.
She caught that.
Keep up. Put your drinks down.
I don't know.
Focus on cognitive
I don't know what she
enhancement.
thinks of this talk. Like
Courtney?
yeah.
Courtney, what do you think of this talk? What do you,
Courtney.
What are you thinking? Right
Courtney,
She,
please
like,
leave a
bu-
comment
she,
in the
buzzes
DMs
his
below.
phone right now.
now? Whoa, I'd be really impressed.
Speaking of
Hey,
which,
what's up? You're nice.
Crossland has figured out a way to push apps to my phone.
Push apps.
Yeah,
What's
I
that
don't know
mean?
what they do.
Like automatically have your phone download the apps?
There's
or-
one called Quality Control, Cell Control, Self-Service, Octomobile. I know what Octa.
Octomobile?
I know what Octa is.
Okay.
Capture
Doc Oct.
and Raken. I don't know what any of these are.
But anyway, yeah, no. I like, or I save videos. I don't like them, so like they won't keep showing up, and then like I'll be like, hey Courtney, look at this one. Isn't it cute? I like
I think
it.
you should just follow the accounts. I think you should stop
No.
saving them and follow, dude.
Nope.
Just accept your fate.
Just accept it.
Okay. But anyway, what you were saying before that, you were talking about.
I don't know what.
Ugly Fox.
Oh, well, I just like I was really impressed with your. I don't know about the interview with Tucker, where you guys like
Okay.
when the director
Explain.
was shouting.
Explain.
It was.
I'll
lo-
explain.
Here's
Yep.
here's my only critique. It was long,
Yes.
but it was funny.
We just walked away from the cameras. We when we were there and we had camera 1, camera 2, and we're like, say something like this. He was just kind of like, "Hi, I'm Tucker Taylor, and I don't really text, and I'm sorry about everything."
That's
and then
perfect. So you just
and then
embraced
he-
The,
who he
well,
was.
the further we kind of crept back,
And then
the
he
further
drinks-
he was like,
He drank some whiskey.
so you embraced who he was.
"Oh," and
just
then he
naturally
just
as a person.
literally on our phones like, "I don't even know what he's saying right now." Like he's just going off over there in the corner.
And like he did really good cutting from camera to camera as he was talking. It looked really organic and natural, but I'm like, I was cutting it and I was like, there's still like, he'll be going from here to here, and then you'll see his face go between the two. Look at us on the couch.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
waiting for affirmation.
Yeah.
Like, are they laughing?
Yeah, there was. A lot
I'm
of
funny.
that.
I'm funny.
And he was like, that's him once he got kind of
It's a
comfortable.
bit of catharsis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, man, getting people comfortable in front of the camera. Is
I
really
know.
hard.
Yeah.
Here's my speech every
Yes.
time when someone new is coming in and they're from the from the construction field or something. I'm like, have you ever done an interview with me before? As if to say, I've done tons of interviews and I have
Right.
no idea if I've done one with you or not.
Right.
That's step one. They're like,
Make
no,
them
no,
feel
never have. I'm like,
less
okay.
important.
Basic rules of interviews. Number 1, don't look at the camera. Look at me. Have a conversation with me. This is the most important aspect. Therefore, they don't have to go like this and have a conversation. My name is Collin Crossland. I'm
And there's
Crossland
no
Construction."
good way to edit that footage.
No, because
No.
like, and plus you don't need someone going like this. Like
Right.
I don't know where to look. I'm like,
Yeah.
you look at me.
Like, is there a
That's
sniper in the
step
camera?
number 2.
Right.
Step number 3, don't worry about messing up your words or taking your time. I'm an editor. What I do best is I chop things up for a living,
Maybe don't say
including
that.
people.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
There's
Like,
a lot of deep holes in this town.
Anyway,
Anyway,
cement being poured these days.
You ever been to the strip pits?
I used to tell my my cousin Maddie's boyfriends, I'm like, so how does it feel to date a girl whose dad has unlimited access to digging equipment and would shed no tears?
He's like, huh?
And who's buried men before? I mean, I didn't.
Anywho,
This is recording.
yeah, and then I think that's my 3 basic rules of
Yeah.
doing interviews, and it makes them feel so much comfortable. And then I just kind of start off before I even start recording. I just start off with some regular questions like, "What TV shows have you seen lately?"
Oh, that's cool.
They're like, I'm really into Duck Dynasty, or
Yeah.
I'm really like,
Kinda
I really
hit their
like
wheelhouse.
Dirty Jobs and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's cool. You
Right.
watch a lot of Netflix? I'm like, oh, cool. And then start recording
Yeah.
and start going.
Right.
It's simple. And I swear they transition so well.
It's a pretty good technique because usually the interviews, especially the ones of late that we've been giving, it always takes them a couple questions to kind of get in that groove of
Yeah.
like comfortable and conversational.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's definitely something we might still.
We started going to the Ugly Fox and just setting up equipment just to play with and practice because we thought we were going to do that documentary, which who knows, we might still do it. But we're like prepping for this big thing. And when I was in front of the camera, I didn't realize how like terrifying some of these camera setups look. You know, like they look like fucking goblins.
Yeah, I mean, you got a bunch
Mics.
of lights pointed at people.
Yeah.
You got like mics everywhere. You're strapped to
Yeah.
you, and then there's like 2 different cameras pointed at you.
You're surrounded.
Yeah, it's
You got the
it's-
thing pointing up here.
It's intimidating, and I know this because I've had to interview myself once,
Yeah.
and then I've been interviewed by a friend of mine once before, and that was the most like nerve-wracking
Yeah.
thing. She actually, she asked one question. It was about Wes. It was about Wes Davis, and like how he's helped me through this whole
Right.
thing. And so I start getting like really emotional, and I'm like this man's been amazing.
Yeah.
And I can't thank him enough for everything he's done in my life. And I start to choke up, and I just go,
That's probably a good move because then they can't use it.
It's a Christian.
You could
Right.
you could totally bleep it out. Like I did Tucker's in the interview.
Yeah. Fuck, I love him. I love him so much.
No, it's
No.
like I would agree, but I've always qualified it like down to like a single point. It's like it's kind of like the Joker in a way. It's like instead of using knives,
He's got a look in his eye.
it's put people on camera. You'll find out who they really are.
Oh God.
And
It's interesting.
I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable in front of the camera, mostly because like it's not like a an ongoing trial that I'm on, on camera for. Not like if a glove doesn't fit, you must quit. But I'm
He's
not
very comfortable.
I'm not saying I'm OJ. I'm just saying there are parallels. Okay. But like
I'm not sure where this is going.
I don't know either. But what
it was never going anywhere. That's the problem.
I feel like if you're not comfortable on camera, you don't deserve the right to film other people on camera. So get comfortable.
Right.
Because if someone would be like, why don't you get over here? I'm like, sure, no problem.
Right.
And then you can show them how to act.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
When I started doing these podcasts, I forced myself to listen to them, and they were horrible. Like the first, what is this, number 37? The first 36 are like terrible.
I've been a guest
Thank
3
God
times.
that he picked up on
oh,
that.
so you're just getting it down now?
Yeah.
Really?
No, but like the first couple, I forced myself to listen to them, and I think technology, especially like audio recording and video recording, can teach you so much about yourself.
Yes. I was
Especially
just gonna say
long
that.
term, podcasts, some of these will go 3 or 4 hours. If you listen to yourself for 3 or 4 hours, you're going to start hearing little tweaks and twerks
You could
that you
probably, if you could compare you giving a presentation like
Yeah.
you did in college versus after these 37 podcasts,
Exactly.
I bet the difference would be light years ahead of its time.
But because I went to them and forced myself to listen, even though I'm like, I'm such an idiot.
It's hard to listen to yourself.
It is very hard. But if you're willing to listen to yourself,
Yeah.
you can tweak it and become better. So like, for instance, like one thing I would pick up on is like, I'm not a very good listener in those first couple of podcasts. Like Casey would be asking me a question and it would just go right past me and I'd just be talking about monologuing.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that was actually a really good question. Why didn't I listen to that, So that's just the one lesson of many lessons,
You learn a lot about how to control the interview.
Absolutely.
The more you listen to yourself, on like even if you're behind the camera, listen to you ask questions.
Yeah.
Like how could I have steered them more to like the emotional point of where I need to get them so that they talk about why they love what they do,
Yeah.
or why they do what they do.
Right.
And it's hard to control that. Like, but for yourself,
Sometimes.
I've only seen myself probably twice on an interview. I've only been like interviewed twice. Once was just me in front of a camera and I'm looking at a wall. And it's the most awkward thing to talk about your idea when you're just staring at a wall. And the second was my friend Summer interviewed me for Stoa.
Nice.
And that was when I broke down.
Oh, right. Is there going to be a sequel?
When you go back and you're like, Crosscast is going to be, God damn it. Like,
Oh, so you made an interview video to pitch
of
the idea.
myself, yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
I mean, that was the best way I knew how to make a presentation. I can't
Yeah.
do PowerPoint. I'm
No,
not
no,
a savage.
No, it's proof of concept.
Savage.
To all Native
not a
Americans
I'm-
listening to this podcast.
I'm not making things like a pilgrim. Like,
Oh my god! But proof of concept's the best,
yeah. Well, I mean,
Dun-na-na, dun-na-na. Welcome to Crossland Field Report. We're down here in Austin, Texas,
dude, I think
at the
you-
new
I think you'd
North
really
Park
like it
Mall.
if you saw what I've made, man. It's
I
it's
think it'd be
impressive.
awesome. I think it's a great idea.
And
And
it's-
your goal was
it's
to work for
cheap.
Vice anyway, so why not make your own network?
My goal has always been to work for Vice, and that's only because I love being thrown into the most like weird places ever. And
Right.
I'm like, come back with something. I'm
Right.
like, sweet.
They do good at that.
I think I would be good, but I'm good where I am now.
Well, the fact that you
That's
built
the girlfriend talking.
exactly.
He's like, I'm good where I am. I'm comfortable.
The fact that you built that
We're
entire.
married, so don't worry about it.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Are you done? Because I am too.
Oh wow! Jeez,
Live on the
cut
podcast.
that
I will
out.
cut it. It's gonna go black when that.
So
happens.
don't pay him his money yet. He won a bet. Anyway, it is impressive. Just, I mean, obviously your drive and just how dedicated you are to Crossland and that project as a whole, because you're still managing an already insane amount of workload.
Yeah.
And you don't have to say it.
It doesn't.
And you can
seem
be modest, that's
insane
fine.
Anymore.
But it's, it's like he's telling me the 16 things he's balancing, like plates on, spinning plates,
That's
like
Collin.
a circus act. And
That's Collin.
and again, that's
just how he thinks.
That's where he thrives, and I can truly empathize and be like,
I used to
man, I gotta get out of bed. Like,
That's not true.
he's doing stuff, bro.
You have more energy than any person I've known.
Oh no, I'm
Adderall.
usually
That's
depressed and bedridden
Really?
99% of the time.
Couch ridden in Netflix.
No, I've actually
likes
I've
comedy
actually
specials.
migrated more to the bed now. It's much more comfortable. It's much darker, and the cat and me, we nap until noon.
You are a cat. He's a cat. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's
You
funny.
need
the-
someone to
the
bounce your
dichotomy.
ideas off of.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat's perfect.
And I mean,
I used to, when I was in college, I used to have my friend's pit bull, and its name was Rosie, and I'd just be like looking at it, and like I'm like, how'd you get these muscles? Like, what's the deal? Like, how do I do that? The dog's more fit than I am.
Oh, the pit bulls are insane.
Have you ever walked down the street with a pit bull?
No.
It's like being God.
I would
this
imagine.
must be what Moses feels like. Just people crossing the street left and right. Isn't it?
I would.
They're muscular.
Obviously.
They're illegal in Cherokee County.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No way.
Yeah.
Since when?
No idea.
Okay, but
We
you're
need-
serious?
we need
you're not messing with me
inclusivity.
right now?
No.
How would you ever know that?
Casey told me this morning because he has a pit bull.
Wow.
He adopted one.
Wow.
Oh,
Allegedly.
that usually goes well.
I
Yeah.
feel like Cherokee County Animal Control is not listening to this.
Oh, God.
We gonna be okay.
I hope so.
We gonna be okay.
I'm gonna tag.
They're
him
like
in
the
this.
biggest fans of SciFi And Friends. They posted a new episode.
We have 4 listeners. They just continually download the podcast.
Here's the thing about work. Here's the thing about workload. Like, you've balanced 50 different hats before. I've seen you do
51.
it. Yeah. 51.
Yeah. It's my
Yeah,
max.
but like,
At 51, I'm
like,
done.
do you ever complain?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, hell yeah. That's a lot of hats.
He's a constant complainer.
No.
That's fair.
I mean-
you really don't. Though.
He's
You-
more of a
I-
bandana
I
guy.
feel like you love it, and I feel like
If
you
I complain,
definitely
it's
love it.
internal. It's like a little internal bitch where it's like, I don't want to do, and then it's like, shut the fuck up.
And then he self-harms and he gets right back up on the horse.
I don't.
Right.
I don't
It's like
mind
putting it
the
internal.
delivery if the return on investment is worth it. So
Right.
I don't mind killing myself for 7 days straight. If I get an audience of 1,700 people,
Yeah.
it's worth it to me.
Right.
So that's the start. From there, I just find my motivation. I don't know.
Right.
But it's getting harder.
Yeah.
Until today,
Yeah.
which I finally got by in. It took me 6 months. So
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
We're going through that as well. But it's like
Yep.
people at work, and I work weekends at a restaurant solely to pay bills and buy equipment and drugs.
the restaurant's a loose term. That place is like a high class lounge.
Okay, yeah, but it pays well, and
Yeah.
it allows for 3 days of work and 4 days of work. So
Yeah.
people ask me, like, what do you do on your days off? Like, what, you watch fucking Netflix? And I'm like, no. Like, I'm hustling. I'm
Yeah.
doing as much as I possibly can.
Side hustle.
For free. Basically for free. We're trying to figure out a way to charge people for this stuff. Tucker won't pay. But hopefully the clients after Tucker and people that see the real.
You got to incorporate first off.
I got it.
Infinity.
Yeah.
Still. So you guys under that could work from there.
Yeah, we could. We just, no one wants to pay price. And that's why
Nobody
you moved
wants
to
to
Kansas.
pay what you're worth.
Yeah, and that's why
Yeah.
you moved to Kansas City. Is like a lot more opportunity up there as far as film production and media content
I
creation.
moved up there because of the download speed,
I got optic
which is
here, dude.
key,
I got optic.
bro.
Dude,
You don't
I'm
tap
not.
what KC has. Like,
What I got?
What's your download? You first.
1 gig.
Okay, boys.
1 gig.
1 gig.
Let's zip up our pants, boys.
I thought he was impressed.
10 gigs.
That's crazy. You don't need 10 gig.
Yeah, I do.
That's insane.
It's worth it, man.
He's over there like
What are
twin gig.
What's a
I
gig?
think I have negative gig.
Hey,
Is that a
I've
thing?
seen our Wichita office's internet speed, and I'm like, I'm never gonna ask you guys for footage of anything you take because you could never get it to me. So
I could do it here.
yeah,
Dude,
you could do it here.
What's from Columbus?
Do you know why your speed is so fast in Columbus?
Because optic.
No,
What
because Crossland Construction is like funding all of that.
are they
Yeah, they're pushing as much advancement in terms of speed for your internet as possible.
in Columbus?
Yeah,
Because that's where the
they were
mother
just
office
at our
is.
offices today.
That's where the mother office is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were wiring up phone
the
lines this
headquarters.
morning for Heavy's or Crossland Heavy's new HQ. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's just,
Well, thank you, Crossland. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
it's-
It's really making it difficult to find
I'm
a house
sure
to buy.
there's other people. Leggett and Platt's still around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Do they still have a company open in Columbus?
I don't know.
Why are we
I think
talking
it's
about
Joplin. People are like, I don't know.
I just know that the basketball arena in Missouri Southern's named Leggett and Platt. I know that because I had to run at it every morning for a good better part of a year and a half, and it was always.
I have a question for both of you. I've actually been wanting this. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm not sure where tech is going in terms of like, you know, film and media and stuff like that. Well, like, what's the next boundary you see coming? Well, like, we got VR. VR's going. And even Crossland's into the VR game.
Yeah. VR. See, people always thought VR would take over, as did I.
Yeah.
But when I got an Oculus and I played with it for quite a while, and I realized something is the amount of energy that it takes to do VR. The normal human doesn't want to do that.
I played
like,
an Oculus before. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
It's great, but you need the processing power to pull it off.
Well, yeah, that's
First.
definitely a
it's
trouble.
it's not like a Wii,
Not yet.
you know,
Not
not
yet.
like a Nintendo.
But what I'm getting at is like when people are doing a hard job and they come home, like they don't want to strap on their fucking exactly and go fight a dragon. Like they want to
Yeah.
watch House of Cards
Yeah, they just
because of the passiveness,
chill.
you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's VR. I think it's like going to be partly VR, but I don't think VR is going to run the game.
I don't think so.
Augmented reality is cool, but I don't think it's going to run the game.
Caleb, what do you think?
I feel like both VR and AR are both going to be pretty big aspects of pop culture and how we consume media for, you know, the foreseeable future for sure. It's not as intrusive, like as far as breaking into the market as everyone thought it was going to be. It's not as widely held as, you know, the next way to only consume media. I think using aspects of both to enhance the media that we're already consuming
Yeah.
could be, I mean, certain platforms, certain kind of content as far as like,
This is what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
there is this gap
Yeah,
of like we could always tell what was coming, like
sort of.
video is gonna take over social media, and we were right.
Right.
Like all of us at this table were right. But now I don't know what's gonna happen. It was
I
just
mean,
weird.
video could just be king.
well,
It's too easy.
well, I mean, it's, you have all these I mean, even like 3D and stuff, like now the industry standard's pretty much 2K film the entire way around,
I'd say
but
so.
then you're moving to 8K,
Yeah.
and it's like,
No one's using 8K.
how are computers in the,
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
well, I mean,
That's it.
true,
I mean,
yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. That's the
Seriously.
red camera.
Yeah.
So it's
Helium.
so it's you just watch technology try to keep up, like computers with the processing power for creatives or whatever else to try to not only ingest and then be able to render that as you're editing it. And that's where like the whole proxy game as far as Premiere and all that stuff is coming to handy. But it's like, you know, I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was it was like an IMAX screen and then like 45-degree angles coming back almost behind the audience.
I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was at Sundance or something. Like, and it was 6K, and
This
it
is like
was
South by Southwest or something.
yeah, one of those festivals, and it was like, to me, that's kind of like trying to mimic VR on a grand scale. And they said it was a cool experience, but like you have to have the like genre of movie or the kind of movie that's shot for that. Like you can't force like Pretty Woman on us with that kind of experience. No offense to Pretty Woman.
I
What a
would
classic.
I would never
Classic.
want to be in a VR AR simulation of where Pretty Woman is my main sim.
I mean, okay, poor example. Sorry.
I'm just.
Sorry, Julia Roberts.
That's just scary. You know?
I was just trying to see if I could find it.
Oh, you good?
But I mean, as far as like the evolution, it's like, yeah, we have. I mean, you have 3D. I mean, that's cool for certain genres and certain experiences.
I feel like we're at this point of where we were spiking up, and just like the market, it needs to kind of level off and stabilize for a minute until we figure out the next advancement. So that's where we are.
Well, it's a disconnection between technology and culture. Like technology just blew past culture so fast within 5 years. Like I was listening to a podcast last night, and they were asking this girl if she had shot her indie film in 4K, and she's like, "Hell no, I didn't shoot in 4K. Why would I shoot in 4K? I saw it in 1080p. No one's watching. No one cares about 4K." And that's the whole thing with cameras right now is, we're at 8K. Next year, Dragon or Red might come out with a 10K, or I don't know what the hell they're going to call it.
What are they working on? I forgot.
Something insane.
It's something new.
Holograms? I don't know.
It's like once you get to a certain point though, and then you get the camera shooting, dual cameras in a 3D rig, and you're shooting it. You finally make that bump up to 60 frames per second at that kind of resolution, and then you have the processing power to do it. Like you're giving people almost an undistinguishable like media right in front of them. Like it looks like the TV is just an extension of reality.
It's like a window.
And that's when I think VR and everything else might take off, just because it's still rudimentary at this point as far as the graphics.
Yeah, but like it won't take off in your living room. It'll take off in a
not
mall.
Unless there's some kind of revolutionary box with wireless headsets. And stuff like
right.
Enough to where it's cheap enough to get for the whole family kind of thing.
Yeah, that's tough to do for a whole family.
Yeah,
basically,
PlayStation's working on it. And
they're making.
They can't get it either.
Well, I mean, all the video game consoles have tried to kind of Google it or Amazon it is trying to be like that one-stop shop as far as like, come here and you can watch 3D movies and you can have a VR experience, and it has like a front-facing camera, and you can have like your Dance Revolution parties. I think, which never happened for me. Which
I have a theory, but I don't know if it's right. That's
a basis.
That's why they call it a theory.
Yeah. You could have stopped it. I had a theory.
It's been a long day. I have a theory that artificial intelligence is going to, not the scary kind.
Both of us already Googling something.
I have a theory that artificial intelligence is going to be the mainstream of next personal electronic advancement. I would guess that's the way. So a lot of people have been trying to create their own Alexas. And I guess the trend of that is everybody likes to voice search, or people don't want to put in the effort to type things in, kind of
Tucker,
right.
Because that goes along with people reading.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, right. They want to cast spells,
and so everybody wants their machines to predict for them. So they want you. They with Amazon, I feel like they're positioning themselves with their Alexas to change the way food is delivered to your home. So that's why they've bought Whole Foods, and that's why they're trying to position with the best delivery system and logistics possible. Meets the at-home personal assistant, and Google and Apple are all trying to keep up on this. Like they're all trying to keep the same
home assistant
going. Yeah. And I really think whoever Walmart decides to,
it doesn't matter, bro.
Whoever Walmart decides to join, that'll be the standard. Whether or not, they might decide to join with Amazon, or they might decide to join
Amazon
with
and
Google.
Walmart are having a war.
They are.
It
is brutal.
Yeah.
And I'm at the center of it. It's amazing.
It's cool. Whole Foods and people have died.
Jeff Bezos is just murdering fools in his
He's the next Clinton Foundation.
I believe that.
What do you do for fun, Jeff? I throw people out of my jet airplane.
Huh?
I don't.
Walmart executives.
My bodyguards.
Walmart executives.
Wait, my cousin.
I just take the greeter from the Walmart local.
Oh my gosh!
And it's always
you leave the Walmart greeter alone. They're sweethearts.
Yes, they're adorable.
Yeah, that's a really interesting idea. I'm really glad you brought it up, because there is this weird confusion going on between media creation, technology, and future. No one when you first said it, I'm trying to kind of think, and it's just kind of I can't go a year or two without. I have no clue. It's just dark.
And that's never happened to me before. Like in terms
Yeah.
of me watching tech all these years,
Yeah.
I've always kind of known the next step, and now I have this gray area I see approaching
Yeah.
of to where I'm like, how do I keep pushing?
Even
forward?
if I
Kinda
had an
where else can
idea,
we go?
Exactly.
I'd have even if it was totally wrong. You know,
Yeah.
like I can't even really throw out an idea as far as what is going. I mean, maybe if I really took a walk and
I
thought
think
about it, maybe.
I think artificial intelligence, something that can predict what your needs for you, kind of thing.
I'd say, I mean, especially for like Crossland in a sense, I think we're getting to that point where there's not going to be so much innovating as far as creating new avenues of media,
Yeah.
but it's going to be enhancing the forms of media that have already
delivery,
been
yeah.
proven
Yeah.
and positively tested for you. So like
That's-
VR, like walkthroughs of
we're
the
doing-
new buildings.
We did that in Tulsa. a
Exactly.
couple weeks
So
ago, yeah.
so you're just going to continue to build on that, and then kind of just adjust with the times.
Yeah.
AI, I mean, voice, it's kind of a hit or miss thing.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
wait till it can talk back to you.
Well, basically, the end game you guys are describing is one of my favorite movies, animated or not, Wall-E, where we're all
possibly,
in power chairs.
Possibly, it's one route.
No, Wall-E was predicting the future. You thought
Hey.
The Matrix was. Nope, it
No.
was Pixar.
I was thinking more of the new Blade Runner. That's the future.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I saw that finally.
I
What'd you
liked-
think?
It was good.
Yeah, long.
It was very long.
Yeah.
I just like Jared Leto. He's my spirit animal.
In that you didn't like him in that?
No, he's my spirit animal. I love him and everything.
That's fair.
Oh,
Tom Hardy's my spirit animal.
really?
Who's your favorite actor? Tom
See,
Hardy.
isn't it funny the contradiction
Hardy
in the guys that
every
we
day.
like? He's like
can
I
see that.
want like masculine Tom Hardy. I'm like I like
Have
the
you
guy who
have
played.
you ever seen have you ever seen Taboo on FX?
No, dude, I have it downloaded.
Scary.
I have it downloaded.
Scary.
A buddy at
good.
work, actually Levi, he was on the podcast last, told me about it. It's a Hulu.
Tom Hardy.
That's Hulu, isn't
Tom
it?
Hardy can command the presence of a scene by going just staring at the camera, and going
What's his Bronson? You remember Bronson?
Bronson. Yeah.
What
this
the
is,
fuck?
That was a crazy.
Holy shit.
He gained so much weight for that film.
That was amazing. He did crazy good
great.
in that. That was so good.
Possibly one of the most underrated
Bronson?
actors.
I would
Oh,
agree.
don't- Oh, actors?
It was
Tom
it was
Hardy.
kind of it was like an indie
I think
film.
He's
I
just,
think he's in the ring.
like he's just like he's like
Oh,
you don't
he's-
ever
he's
hear
well
about
known.
it in pop
I
culture.
thought his performance in The Revenant was way better.
I was getting ready to
DiCaprio.
say that exact same thing.
Like,
he should have won
I
supporting
mean,
actor.
Jeez.
Easy.
He can adjust with the times,
Dude.
and he can be suave and debonair. He could be an asshole. He can be a villain.
I
Did you-
wanted him to die so bad, but then I was like, and like
Kinda wanna
like
see him stretch.
under the campfire when he was talking to that kid that was with him when they
Yeah,
left him, and he was talking about his dad and like the story of the squirrel and God and everything. I'm just like, man,
There's some
feel for
depth to
him.
this.
Did
Like,
you
He was
see
like
any behind the scenes
so
of Revenant?
Mm-mm.
They only used natural light, like the whole time they used natural
No
light.
way.
Yeah,
It was
no
the-
no
it was
outside.
the
Oh, that's
same-
right. Yeah,
same
I heard they just,
director
like there was
in-
no lighting. They were
in
just in the
Aratu.
backwoods with all their actors.
Yeah, yeah.
and their costume designers.
Somebody almost
And
froze to
that's it.
death.
They did one opening scene where they do the 360 battle scene where it's like
Dude,
Well,
that's
it was
every
the same.
Native American movie I've ever seen, cowboys, Indians, all that kind of shit.
Mhm.
You know, the Indians are like they're like flamboyantly like "Woo!" They're crazy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Dude,
Villainized.
terrifying. That fucking scene
I was
is
scared.
terrifying.
I
Where
watched
the
it with my
arrows are just
dad.
flying out of nowhere. Like that's how it was. That's how it was.
I
You
watched-
just like there's people in there.
I watched it with my dad, and we were both completely silent while we watched it. Which usually we pick movies apart. We're
Right.
Like, look at this stupid. bitch.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, right. Oh, I'm gonna go kill the bear.
oh, she's rough about her
Yeah.
sex life right
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, and both of us were dead silent, and by the end of it, we just kind of looked at each other. Like,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to bed. That was a lot.
The only problem I had with Revenant is they spend so much time in that fucking water, and I swear to God, I've been in cold water, not that cold, but I've been in cold water.
And you don't stay in that long.
Hell,
You could never.
fucking no. I mean, I understand you're gonna die. There's like one point where Leo just like backs up in the water, and I know he's like, this is it. He's either gonna get scalped and killed, or he's
Yeah.
gonna freeze to death. Even then, like, I don't think you're making it out of that fucking.
But who's
stream.
your favorite actor?
I was trying to think about it, probably like Daniel Day-Lewis or something like that.
Oh yeah.
That's kinda
Have you
pretentious.
seen
The
Phantom-
Cobbler.
Have you seen
It's
the
kinda
Phantom
pretentious.
Thread yet?
No
Dude, I gotta give.
I don't really
I gotta
know.
give you access to
I
my
really-
movie server, man.
movie server.
Yeah, so I have
exactly
I
what it
have an
sounds
old
like. Backdoor
computer
Hussy.
rolling in the the KC Crossland office,
Uh-huh.
and it has about 700 plus movies.
Wow.
on it. Yeah,
Wow.
and you just stream.
Nice.
Like whenever you want,
Nice.
anytime you want.
Yeah, he shared a documentary with me. I think it was called Make.
Yes.
It was really
What's
good.
that
So
about?
there, the Music Bed.
Creatives,
Have
pretty
you ever
much.
heard the Music Bed? You bought?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Oh,
bought
yeah.
music
Oh, yeah.
from them?
Yeah.
So the Music Bed made their own documentary about people that are creative, and so they went with a band and they
but
went with a
like
graphic designer.
indie.
And
Everything's
oh,
indie.
it's
What's
so
that
indie.
dude's name that we like to pull music from?
Oh, Tony Anderson.
Tony Anderson.
God, he's so good.
Speaking of Tony Anderson, Dustin knows Tony Anderson.
He tweeted.
Tony
me.
Anderson?
I
from
know
Joplin?
Dustin.
He's from Joplin.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's
I
not.
promise, dude.
No way.
I promise.
Prove it.
Tony Anderson is.
There's only one way. Talk to Dustin Storm. I guess they used to
I'm gonna
work.
Google this, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to.
I'll Google it
I'm
for
going
you.
to take a very hard pull of liquor. So,
Okay.
hang on.
Please
I got
let-
it.
Do it.
Tony
Um,
Anderson.
Oh man, we'll go with this.
But to backtrack just quickly here,
What do you got?
I will go
It
ahead.
says he was born in Fort Lauderdale.
Of course he did.
Drink that liquor.
What? That wasn't the bet.
In the Midwest, here, right there. Okay,
Oh,
sequencing
no.
birthing sounds was caught the attention of independent filmmakers in the Midwest, where Anderson was attending university. He probably went to MSSU.
What an idiot.
He
Hey,
lives in Lexington, Kentucky.
Lexington,
He has a studio.
Lexington,
He was telling a story
Kentucky.
about how he had a studio in Lexington, Kentucky, and there was this
Lexington.
this homeless guy that came and always like burst in, and he
Is it
just
that
let him
video?
in so he could. Yeah.
That's a great video.
Yeah, it's a really good story.
Can we all pause and try to pronounce Lexington,
Lexington.
Lexington, Kentucky correctly? Jesus.
Lexington, Kentucky.
You know, it's in Costa Rica. I think it's where Kentucky is. It's a string of islands
all I'll
outside
say-
Dominican Republic.
I traced my family back to Kentucky.
Well, that
My
explains a lot.
family-
None of these.
Yeah, I would explain the love of whiskey for sure.
Daniel Boone.
All I'll say is when I was talking to Dustin Storm on a business meeting, he was saying that he knew Tony Anderson personally and used to live in the area. I think they used to both work at a steakhouse, like Outback or something like that. I don't know. So that's why I say he's from
So
Joplin.
you
Hey, you work at a steakhouse.
Maybe he's
So
not.
you think because he worked at a steakhouse?
I knew it as soon as he said that.
Joplin.
No, what I meant to say is I retract that he's from Joplin. I just want to say he spent some time in Joplin at one point.
Are there only steakhouses in Joplin?
There's only steakhouses. The Mexican is
There
still
should be.
steakhouse. Mexican.
Sushi, we only serve steak. Anyway, no,
That's
I
cool.
would like to first just backtrack and say yes, Tucker's videos, honestly, they're pretty easy to edit, but a lot of credit goes to him.
Oh yeah.
And like
I mean, if he wasn't as good as what he does,
When
he
he-
wouldn't be as popular.
well-
it's as nothing. I mean, really,
He's just a genuine
his quality.
and
Like,
full of integrity dude.
I mean, he
the barbering
gave me the
aspect,
hairstyle I have now.
Yeah.
but like the barbering
hard hat hair.
aspect is only like one facet.
Yeah.
Like his mom,
Right.
Rin, who I love to death. She's just a wonderful lady. Like she was in there like every day when he first was talking to Dustin and getting that place set up.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like the entire design and like the kind of rustic, old school masculine vibe that he has. Like that's just him. It's
you know
not
what he
it's
needs?
not a facade.
It's
It's
a
not.
falcon cage. Just
That'd
like
be
a
cool.
giant cage.
That'd be cool.
to put his falcons.
I wish he
in.
would do it again. He doesn't have where's he living? He's living with his mom, right?
He's
Parents.
back home with his parents currently.
He just doesn't have a
saving up
place
money.
for the falcon. But that would be really cool. I
think so.
I
It
don't know what
would.
Dustin would say about
I
that.
mean, it would, but birds have wings, and I just feel bad about that.
Fly it in Joplin.
You gotta let him fly free, man.
Caleb misses his wings.
I miss my cat.
Courtney's like, and?
Yeah, the cat for sure.
Both cats.
The Pikachu is just staring right at me though, and that's kind
I
of.
was gonna say, what is the reason for the flags behind you?
What, the Oklahoma?
Yep, is that Oklahoma?
That's Oklahoma.
That's Oklahoma's flag.
And
That's
then,
Oklahoma's flag.
That's the state of Oklahoma's
That's the
flag.
state of
That is
Oklahoma.
not the
That's
state,
the
of Oklahoma.
And then over here
Yeah,
he has white nationalist. So he's kind of
that-
What the
contradicting
fuck
himself.
ever? That's the American flag, and if you aren't proud of that, get the fuck out of my podcast studio.
Where's the swastika flag at? That's
Behind this. I needed some backdrops. You got a Muslim rug behind you. I mean, I just needed something for some decorations.
It's not the first
Check
time
out
I
the
learned
the
awesome
wolf
stuff.
and the eagle fighting each other.
That would never happen.
I love the little soundproof sideways.
I know. I need to get more of them.
Yeah, they're
It's cool.
expensive.
They really are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't doing that.
So what do you guys think about Bitcoin?
I have to pee.
You were against it.
I've told you.
You were scared.
I've told you everything that I believe
You were
to
like,
be true.
Bitcoin went parabolic.
I told you to get out at a much higher rate than it is now.
Maybe I did.
Yeah, I told
Maybe
you
I
a
did.
much higher rate to get out. I'm like, hey, cut it here.
I should have.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
I still have it.
It was. I mean, it's an experiment.
It's gonna be 50,000.
What were you?
It's
I
gonna be
mean,
50,000 by
There
the
was
end of
no
the year.
way to predict what was going to happen, really.
No,
Except the telltale warning signs.
well, it was cool. It was cool. What happened? What happened was it was creeping up to 10,000. What's he getting? He's getting
He's
his
getting
bag.
his vape.
He's like not ready for this conversation.
Just keep talking.
So the end of 2017 is creeping up to 10,000. Very slowly. Like it's 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 9.7. Finally,
I got in touch with you.
in November,
Mhm.
right before Thanksgiving, right, or Christmas, one of the holidays. It
Whenever
it was
I
Thanksgiving.
saw that
Yeah,
you
it was
were
Thanksgiving.
putting like you put out on Facebook like need help for a well ventilated shaft, and I called you immediately. No, I texted Caleb first, and I was like, "Is Colton doing what I think he's doing?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna do it." And I called you immediately. I was like, "Dude, please don't do what I think you're gonna do."
I did.
Yeah, you did.
But okay, so it creeps up to like 10. It crosses 10 right before Thanksgiving, right? All the families get together. And this happened to me personally, and I didn't think anything of it until I like afterwards read these articles.
All the families came together.
All the yes. They came together, and people that weren't into it were asking the people that were into it. They were like, "What the hell is this Bitcoin thing?" I remember my grandpa sent me down like, "Tell me about Bitcoin." I'm like, "Oh yeah, blah blah
yeah,
blah."
yeah.
It's cryptocurrency.
Did he even
did your elevator
understand
speech
what he
for
was
it.
He's
You
a
want to buy in?
He's yeah. I tried. He's a not a mathematician. What was he, like an architect or a finance guy? He's something numbers, so he understood it better than I did. But what happened was, people got together on Thanksgiving. They pitched the idea of Bitcoin, or people that weren't into it learned about it, and then within a week, it was twice. It went from 10 to 19 like that. So that's what like spurned the whole like, and the media picked up on it like, no, 10 grand, it passed 10,000. It was crazy, fucking nuts.
Everybody starts coming out with their own coins. There's one called Jesus coin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There,
Titty
I mean,
coin.
Ripple and Litecoin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the minute my cousin and his
They were after
his-
Litecoin, weren't
his
they?
group chat from KU got into it, I was like, this thing's gonna tank. Like,
Dude,
as
and it
soon
did.
as- yeah,
It did. Oh, well,
It's not dead.
It
though.
corrected.
It's not dead.
Yeah, no, it's not dead. It corrected big time though. Like I had Tyler Morton texting me, and I think Litecoin was like 425, the highest it's ever been. He's like, "Should I buy it? Should I buy it?" I'm like, maybe look at something else right now. Like this is nuts. I don't know what to tell
The thing
you.
about it is that you have a bunch of people that dived into a value that they didn't quite understand, and so it gives them no reason to sell or hold
Right.
based on any real relative customer, or I should say
Shareholder.
consumer shareholder prediction index. And plus you have decentralized currency that is producing absolutely no interest. So all these things add up into one terrible scenario of a drop. And I told you when it turned parabolic, I'm like, hey, this just turned parabolic, you need to get out.
Right.
And then I think it was at 14 when it went parabolic, and as soon as it did, I'm like, it's mathematical certainty, it's gonna drop.
Right,
Like,
right.
and
I
then
love
it got to
mathematical
19, and I was like, dude, if it drops below 17, get out immediately.
Right.
Or I think I said 15.
You said 11.
I think I said 15.
I was pretty sure it's 11.
Nope.
Check the minutes, please. Go check the minutes.
But I just didn't want to get involved in it, and
You never did you?
I just want to make sure you didn't lose anything.
Well, I mean, it would have to drop to 1,500.
2,000.
Yeah,
something like that.
1,500, 2,000
Yeah,
before
I
it was
think we
like-
did the math together.
Right. That's when
So, like,
that's when I bought
You did fine,
a
and that's what I was
big
worried
part
about.
of it. But now it's tough because people say it's going to go to 50 by the end of the year. Like I'm talking.
Who's people?
Okay,
Them.
I don't know I don't know how to look this up, but like
Sweet desktop.
really, thanks. Really big financial institutions that deal in stocks that are getting into crypto.
But they have a vested interest in shorting it if they can.
Some people
They
do.
have the
Some
they
people
have
do.
the ability. Here's the thing about Bitcoin or any kind of cryptocurrency.
Go on. This is riveting stuff.
Big investment firms
Yeah.
have the ability to short a stock, whereas
Right.
they're looking at a market where no one else has the ability to short that stock. Like, in order to short a stock, you have to have the ability to follow it through to the very end. So you're paying premiums on the stock that you're shorting based off of its progress, and then if it goes down, then you make money. So so think of like how investors think of, profits going in the green, people that short stock, profit going in the red.
Right.
So their entire world is flipped upside down. So they're willing to cover like loss, like the chance that it does well. So just like anybody that's wanting stock to go up is covering the chance that it goes down. It's the same basic scenario, it's just flipped upside down.
Yeah.
So investment firms are the only ones that have the capital to handle the amount of volume of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency that fails. So they have a vested interest in watching you fail versus success. They don't gain. They have a better chance in total terms of probability that they can watch you lose money and make money off that. Period. And that's why they wanted it trading futures on the NASDAQ.
Right.
And the Chicago Commodities Exchange.
But what about this? Would you say that Bitcoin is like a new thing as far as it won't trade or act like old commodities or old stock exchanges?
No. Well, first of all, nothing acts the way it did back in the day.
Right. Because you can't. You can't.
I have learned something from this podcast.
You can't compare it to the tulip mania, right?
No, well, I mean, it does look very similar, but it's not the same thing. For one was tangible.
Right.
The other is just
Accurate.
No, it's not the best way.
Well,
to
the
describe it.
other thing that I always think of is that the tulip mania was isolated to like Amsterdam, right? That's
Yeah,
where-
the Dutch.
This
the
is
Dutch
global.
Stock
This is
Exchange,
like
yeah.
India's into it, China's into it, Russia loves it.
Yeah, but we're a
South Sudan.
we're a globalized society, so
Absolutely.
nothing happens in another country without us knowing about it if it's big.
Right.
So we're a
Right.
globalized central economy. So we
Yes.
shouldn't probably put America first. We should probably think about the entire world economy.
That's my point, though, as far as like shorting and whatnot. If these stock or
And
these
I'll-
brokers,
I'll
or what
give
call
you that cryptocurrency supersedes every country border and is exactly the same everywhere.
That's what
And
throws the wrench.
That's cool, and the technology of blockchain is genius.
Yeah.
A public ledger that's available everywhere,
right?
and can't be hacked. Well, it can be hacked, but
Well,
it can't be hacked. But it
quantum.
can be hacked. It can't
Yeah.
be hacked.
Impossible to hack.
That's true.
It can be hacked.
Quantum computing
Quantum computing.
could hack. They said if they could get a quantum computer working, it could mine every Bitcoin in 1 minute. The last Bitcoin will not be mined until like 2150.
You guys are talking a lot, and I have one phrase running through my mind repeatedly, and it's Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. And it's
I don't
read the script reads me. That is the only thing.
I don't.
It's
drop
like Caleb.
character to the DVD commentary.
Caleb, how do you feel about Bitcoin? I don't read the script reads me. That'd be my only response.
Robert Downey Jr. has done Iron Man and like a bunch of other movies, but that'll be the one he's most famous for. This is an amazing role.
Yeah, he was
Everyone
good.
stop.
He was good.
Have you seen the YouTube video? It's like 8 minutes long where he is still in character as Lincoln Osiris.
Oh, wow.
Staff Sergeant Lincoln Osiris.
Oh, yeah.
And he
yeah.
goes and hangs out with like his widow and her kids and like adopts them and stuff. And like he has post-traumatic stress.
That is one
And it takes place all in a
weird
hotel room.
actor. Awesome actor. Weird.
That's what happens when you do enough black tar heroin.
He's done with Iron Man. I know that much.
He's gonna die in Infinity Wars, right?
Yeah,
Surely.
He's Captain America.
He's gonna,
Spoiler alert.
Chris Evans dies.
because
Robert Downey Jr.
we know
definitely
Robert's
dies.
because he's just done.
Well, first of all, Captain America's supposed to die, and Bucky's going to take his place. Because
And his-
how many shields have you seen Bucky pick up in the entire Avengers franchise?
A lot.
I love that we just went from cryptocurrency.
Well, I was hoping to talk about some movies, anyways. Cryptocurrency.
Well,
but I mean,
buy
he
Bitcoin.
picks up the shield all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
you guys ruined the movie for me.
I never picked.
Shut up.
Well, no, I mean
I'm trying to
Robert Downey Jr. Just the way he acts, like personally. You could tell he's done.
Have you seen his
he's made so much
audition
fucking
for
movie.
Iron Man?
No.
It is so good.
Well-
and it's better than the movie.
Well, okay.
It's solid.
Iron Man
it's
was-
solid Tony Stark.
Was before.
Do you know how long I've been waiting for a third Sherlock Holmes directed by Guy Ritchie?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Is
Forever.
that-
Unfortunately,
The second one was great.
unfortunately, Guy Ritchie is
Did you-
probably in a
Did you
desert.
see Legend of the Sword?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it? Oh, wow.
I
From you, this is rough.
No, I love Guy Ritchie. And you could. There were definitely like, especially like the opening scene where
The
Charlie
montage of him growing up.
Charlie Hunnam is doing
Yeah,
that stuff,
yeah,
and just
yeah.
like the close-ups and like the kind of obscure things that like
I thought
he
that
captures.
movie was perfect. In all
It-
honesty, I mean, for what it was impressive.
I love Jude Law as
He lost a lot of money.
Dr. Watson. I love Jude Law in that role. I felt like he could have been.
Screen test?
Screen test.
I'm sorry, Caleb. Keep going.
No.
I'll play this in a moment.
No, I feel like Jude Law is really good as Dr. Watson. He's really good opposite Robert Downey Jr. They have a
didn't
really
like him
good
as a villain,
rapport.
did you? I didn't like him as a villain either. Really.
He didn't sell me on
There's
it.
a reason they CGI'd the crap out of him into that
Yeah.
monster.
and
because he
I
can't cover
just
the role.
I didn't feel
Jude Law?
sold.
Jude Law in Legend of the Sword, King Arthur.
Oh,
King
the
Arthur,
new one.
Legend of the Sword,
With
yeah.
Charlie, what's his name?
Charlie
Charlie
Hunnam.
Hunnam.
Okay.
And I thought that movie was great. I heard Guy Ritchie talk about it on Joe Rogan's podcast,
And
which
then-
I'm sure you might
and-
have seen that, Colton.
What do you think this whole thing's based off of?
I have literally listened
Every
to
time
that
I see
podcast.
Joe Rogan come out with a hobby, I'm like, Colton's gonna get something like that on.
No
his
way,
property.
dude. I was an archer before he was, but he inspired me to do jiu-jitsu. So it's kind of like
Yeah, it's fine.
he took one, I took
Man, have
one.
you seen his kicks? He can
And I had this
ton
motherfucker
of
before he did, dude. I had the American flag before he had it in his new studio.
And we have a timestamp and we can prove it, Jamie.
absolutely gonna just trust you on this.
I need a Jamie though. I do need a Jamie.
I think you had chickens before he did too.
I did. I had a
I
lot.
know you had chickens
Yeah, I
before
definitely
he
had
did.
chickens before he did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was
look
confused
up
because
to
I
the
went
guy.
back in your Instagram and I was like, where are chickens before?
No,
Cross.
man. I look up to that guy a lot.
No, he's cool. I mean, he was a flat earther for a time.
That's okay.
He was.
He was a no. He was a
No, he was.
I don't think he was a flat earther.
He was a
no,
flat
I think it
earther
was
for a
a.
time.
He was
a
a-
moon denier. Moon denier.
Moon landing.
Moon landing.
Moon landing
denier. I'm a
denier.
moon landing denier.
Oh shit! Why?
I just think it's stupid.
Because of the footage.
Because if we could have like done that, we would have gone back by now. Like
I think we're going back.
Elon Musk would have been like, "This is nothing. I just put a car in space. I'm gonna put it on the moon."
What in the fuck was that about?
He was getting rid of a hooker.
What was?
You heard it here first,
What-
folks. The conspiracy
What
theory is
better-
out.
What better way to
Yeah.
get rid of a dead hooker
She's dead.
than to shoot
No, no,
her
no.
off into space and
wait.
have the whole world go,
He's,
"Oh my god, you
he's
see
dead?
that?"
Move the launch up quickly.
Keep calm.
That's scary as fuck.
By the
Who's in
time
that
everybody
suit?
gets to Mars,
Who
I'll
is
be
in
dead.
that suit? Trump's in that suit. All right, check
That is epic.
Oh,
This
the
is a
Iron Man
screen
test?
test.
Oh yeah, do it. It's better.
Oh, that looks good.
Mr. Stark, you have been described by some as a Da Vinci for our time. What do you have to say about that?
Ridiculous. I don't.
I mean, I can't believe how good they have it lit just for a screen test.
Yeah, right.
What the heck? Like they're pretty close to.
Look at him. He looks like a better Tony Stark than he did in the first movie.
Berkeley, Ms.
Miss.
He's awesome.
It's like very suave.
He reminds me of you.
Listen, Ms. Berkeley.
Have
I
you
swear to
ever
God.
Stop.
have you ever watched his Inside the Actor's Studio and got inside
Yeah.
his process
Yeah,
on how
yeah,
he
that's-
and how he learns the script?
Have you guys watched Actors on Actors, where actors interview?
Yeah,
other
every day.
actors?
No.
in,
And
a
not
couple
not a
websites.
normal set like Antonio Banderas.
Oh, like
interviews
actual
Jennifer
actors.
Lawrence. I'm like, now we're talking.
I thought you were
That's
talking like literally actors on actors.
I've
There's
seen some of
there
those.
are
Guys, I
actors
don't-
in the
I don't wanna
valley.
go through YouTube.
Fook.com.
I don't want to go through YouTube clips with you. I mean, I want to talk to you.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yes, Jennifer Lawrence and Adam Sandler.
So
good.
what you're saying is that two actors sit down and they just talk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And it, I mean, it's a pretty good dynamic because they talk about things that you wouldn't ever think of.
Right?
Do they have a script or like what do they?
No, they just they talk about like so Jennifer Lawrence and Adam Sandler. I don't think have worked together. So they sit them down
Yeah.
for this is the thing with magazines like Variety has,
Right.
new ways to interview, and just like Vanity Fair has those rapid question
Yes.
things with like Zac Efron. And,
Finish the Google search. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
those are good.
Yeah. The autocorrect.
Yeah,
That's
Those are good.
That's a good one. But like they're trying to think of new content and new ways to like distribute things, and I think that's pretty cool.
Variety has some really good stuff, like the writers tables.
Oh,
they have
yeah,
the table
yeah,
talks
yeah.
where they have directors, writers, for actors and stuff. And they're just like probably 6 to 8 people, and they just go around and they talk about whatever they're working on. Really good shit.
Chelsea Handler on her new show
Oh, yeah,
on Netflix has a dinner party episode every couple of times.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she has a bunch of random people. Like Rob Riggle was on it, and I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
I
cool.
love Rob Riggle.
Rob Riggle cussed me out one time.
I saw Rob Riggle the other day in Kansas City.
Because does he live there?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
he's a huge Royals fan.
Oh,
and
right.
he has a
Chiefs.
liquor there that
And
he
Chiefs.
sponsors, and Chiefs fan.
And he went.
He
to,
beat the drum at a game I was at.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
awesome.
He went
I'm like,
to.
Where'd you see him?
is that fucking Rob
He went to
Riggle?
KU.
Oh, he went to KU.
He went to KU with Paul Rudd. Not at the same time, but they were all KU alumni.
Oh, I
Jason
forget-
Sudeikis went
Paul
to
Rudd.
UMKC.
And
which
then
is
the
in
actor
Kansas City.
from Modern Family, the large gentleman. I can't think of him. I think
he's a
from
black
Kansas
belt in
City.
jiu-jitsu, by the way.
Rob Riggle. He's
No,
also
no. The guy off Modern Family.
I don't know. I don't watch Modern Family.
I don't either. No, but Rob Riggle, he was doing like this monologue, and he didn't have like an eye. What do they call that? Shit.
a focal point,
No, it's like a
Bitcoin.
no, it's a industry term. I can't think of it right now. An eye line. He didn't have
Okay.
an eye line,
Yeah.
and I just happened to be in the corner. And he's like, "I'm gonna look at you." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh.
And he's cussing out like the viewer, like he's
Yeah,
cussing
yeah,
out.
yeah,
He's telling like young men not to be pieces of shit, and he's like, "You piece of shit! You need to pick up your fucking room."
And
I'm like,
Colton's never been the same.
And Colton's life changed forever that one fateful
he
day.
apologized. He was like, "I don't mean it towards you." I'm like, "It's fine." dude.
Rob
It's fine.
Riggle
This
is the
guy's
No, no,
good."
I
with
honestly
the
need
champion
that.
of parachuting. Like he parachutes into some of the greatest movies ever.
Oh, I was
he's
like,
in this new Chris
parachuting?
Hemsworth movie, the horses,
cool.
the horse riders.
12
of
Strong or
Afghanistan.
something?
12 Strong. I think.
Oh,
yeah,
The army
And so
one.
he actually plays his old boss in that
Military.
movie.
yeah.
Like so he was part of that unit in
he was a
Afghanistan.
SEAL.
Whoa,
He was
whoa,
a SEAL.
whoa.
He was a SEAL. He was
Rob Riggle
Yeah.
was in the military.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did not.
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
he was I think he was a staff sergeant.
Oh,
before.
wow.
I'm not sure about the
Part
rank.
of this
he was,
movie.
He was getting ready to go to pilot
but he
school.
plays his own boss.
That's cool.
From back in the day.
Huh.
And I'm like, wow, so you get to just be an asshole and just flip off your old boss at the same time. That's pretty cool.
Colin, we want you to play your old boss. Do you think you can do it?
Me?
Yeah,
Play my old boss?
You're gonna play your
Oh,
old boss in
man.
this new feature film
That'd be so much fun.
and action.
Fuck you, Colin. What the-
That's exactly how Rob did it.
Colin, you'll never
No.
be anything.
Well, let's see,
Colton,
my old
you need
boss
to
was
go,
in a financial firm. So it'd be like, fuck you, Crossland. What the fuck are these like commodities exchanges like numbers doing?
Be like, sir, but cryptocurrency.
I'm like, sorry, I didn't expect the Republicans to debate like increasing the debt ratio.
it's a mathematical
ceiling.
certainty.
So what?
John Brinkus from
what,
Sports Science on
oh, sorry.
ESPN.
Yeah, he's cool.
Oh, he's great.
He has a podcast called The Brink of Night.
No
Or
shit.
Brink of Midnight podcast.
What's it
And
about?
it's like people, like successful people, actors, a whole range of people. And it's a podcast, and it's about like that brink of midnight moment where like the course of life
Number
changed
one
forever.
is Ray Lewis.
And he, yeah.
50 minutes.
It's a podcast.
Welcome
But
to
he
the
has Rob
Freedom-
Riggle on it, and he talks about Rob Riggle like he was getting ready to go to pilot school, just do the American thing,
Oh yeah,
and then
he
and
didn't
then
have the
instead
stomach for it or something?
instead he went to SNL.
Yeah.
Oh wow. What do you mean he went to SNL?
Wait,
No,
He went to audition for it.
He went to something else.
He
besides
went
this.
to
Second City.
Second City.
Yeah,
Second
yeah,
City.
yeah.
You son of a bitch,
Here it is. I'll listen to that later.
Robert.
Oh, for sure.
The first time I ever saw him was like, what was that, Step Brothers? And then he was in The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard with Jeremy Piven.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I saw him.
Dude, that
Such
is
a good
one of
movie.
my favorite
I
movies
love
ever.
that movie so much.
Jeremy Piven
Is awesome.
is one of the most underrated. Like,
He's awesome.
Kind of like Robert Downey Jr. type actor.
He's had a hard time getting out of that
Ari Gold role.
Entourage
Yeah.
role, and then
Yeah.
he did Mr. Selfridge, right? That was a thing. Mr. Selfridge.
He was also in
Sure.
Old School.
He was in that British show. I don't know. He's really good, from what I hear.
Oh yeah,
You play video
the
games.
PBS show.
I play video games.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Sometimes, yeah.
That's got to be a part of the future.
What do you mean? Which part?
You know how like I haven't stopped thinking about that question as far as like what the future.
what the future looks
Yeah,
like.
video games are gonna have some sort of play in that. You know.
Man, I've been really disappointed in video games.
Well, they
coming
keep
out
getting
lately.
bigger and more vast.
What was the last video game you played?
Ark.
Ark. Well, that's a great game.
That's
but,
amazing.
But
Right.
I've banned myself from it.
Right now, my brother-in-law and like the entire Derby school district, like all the high schoolers, the only thing they play is Fortnite.
Dude, Fortnite's
oh yeah,
out
my,
of control right
my
now.
friend's obsessed with it. My cousin plays it.
What?
I just
What is the deal with Twitch? Like,
Oh,
can you
man.
imagine
Dude,
saying
my best friend from high school is
Watches
an
it.
Avid. No, he's an avid Twitch streamer.
does he have a good following?
No. No. I
But
mean,
some of those
he's-
channels
he's
have
trying.
millions.
He's trying. He really is. But I'm like.
Well, who would have thought?
He's like, why am I not getting a good following? I'm like, you're not a 12-year-old.
See, and that's kind of what you're talking about earlier, is that it is so fractured right now. There are so many factions on the internet. It is so vast. Twitch, you got people watching video games 12 hours a day or playing 16 or 18 hours a day. You got people watching YouTube videos on how to start aquaponics. You have people how to edit videos, you know.
So Colton
Yeah.
just trying to figure out aquaponics. Basically,
Yeah.
so.
No, but I mean, you have all these factions. There's shit
Yeah,
that we're not even into.
Niche areas.
that have
So
millions
many.
of followers. Podcasts, like this one's got 5,000 views and
Yeah,
how many
I
followers?
never really
you know?
got into the podcast game. I
Really?
tried to do that. Well, I mean, I do.
You listen
like,
to
I
'em.
like coming and hanging out with you guys and doing yours because I think it's
But listen, what podcast do you listen to?
yours, Tim
I know you
Ferriss.
listen to Tim Ferriss.
See, Tim Ferriss is way
Tim
up
Ferriss
there.
is great. Joe
Yeah.
Rogan, obviously,
Yeah.
because he's great.
Right.
Jocko.
Jocko's
Train Jiu-Jitsu.
Jocko Willink, like
Jocko's
Yeah,
good.
man, him on Tim Ferriss is scary.
he, well, like when I think Tim was on his when they broke down the Art of War.
Yeah. Oh, and Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
Oh, so good.
So, yeah,
so
it's
good.
great.
One of the best.
Like
Mongols. The Mongols got to be.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The Mongols, but you know what my favorite is? King of Kings. That one is so fucking awesome.
What was I think? What was
Stars.
the one for Armageddon?
Blueprint from
Blueprint for Armageddon was
Yeah,
good.
but that was like a World War One, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it was true. I mean, like the way he goes into how the like Austrian guy was assassinated, and like
That's the
like a
fucking
grenade.
domino. That's the domino.
Oh man,
That
and
started
it
it
just
all.
Franz
starts
Ferdinand.
an
He took a
entire-
wrong
yes.
fucking turn.
Takes an entire stream of history that takes it on a completely different course. Colton's gonna zoom into himself.
The-
Yeah,
the-
gonna zoom his Colton's-
no, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I remember that
Yeah, it's just
story from high school.
Yeah.
That the driver of
took the wrong turn.
I had a really good.
he took a
history
wrong
teacher.
turn, and the dude with the gun had like talked himself out of it pretty much,
Yeah,
and he just like he was like,
my
oh, he's right
my history
there.
teacher.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. Were you-
Oh no, I was just saying like the entire course of history is altered because. And you think like Uber drivers, like how many of them have inadvertently killed people? Whoa! So taking a wrong turn.
Hopefully,
Thanks,
none.
Uber.
I love
But
Uber.
my history teacher always, whenever we were going back through history of the world, we never focused on wars or the events in wars. We focused the events around wars because he
okay.
thought those were more important. And so, I mean, I agree. And that's kind of what Dan Carlin does.
Yeah,
he
right.
like focuses the areas around wars.
Yeah, and it adds a lot of foundation.
Because you could talk
and
about
knowledge.
battles all day, and everybody's
Well,
talking about battles.
and you've heard 'em. You've heard 'em.
6,000 people died.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
Well, and you've heard those are
Yeah.
what you've been taught growing up. And
Yeah,
it's like
and
if
you've
you
seen
add
them
all
in
this other
movies.
scaffolding around the history, then you understand it better.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this happened because of this. I didn't even know that was going on over there.
Yeah, you learn a lot when
Yeah.
you start piecing together like all the stepping stones that causes this point. Like,
Right.
When you find out that Truman didn't need to drop the bomb, he was going to
Yeah.
get his surrender anyway. But he's like, fuck
Bug
it.
it. Yeah, that and that's why Dan Carlin's podcasts are 5 freaking hours long, because you really have to invest. It can't just be
That's
like
hard.
this is what happened. You know, you can have the bullet points, but you're not going to pick up on the nuances of what happened
Well,
and who was
he likes to
playing
be
and-
expressive too. He's like, it was a
Oh.
crazy time.
I know, but
You
he's
have
like,
to be.
Man, I
Like,
get it. You said that 4 hours ago.
to
when I first started this thing.
Yeah. to like
It's
to,
so
tru-
good, though.
to like truly encapsulate history for like what it is. Like I think it was like one of Tucker's friends. Like they were studying for a history exam in college, and it was like via Snapchat. I just overheard them say, "I hate history,"
Oh wow.
and I think that like it's a double-edged sword of like the importance of good high school teachers. Shannon Underwood, our history teacher,
So good, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
He like overall as just a teacher, he got high school students,
Right.
but like also developing that foundation of like interest in history as a whole, so that when we see the hardcore history podcast, we
Yeah.
go, oh,
Well, he treated it like college classroom. Remember, like he just lectured, and he would draw on the board a little bit, but he just lecture
And he would
lecture.
take
badmouth
notes.
the French.
I was so fascinated. I could just sit there and stare at him. Like,
Yeah?
wow,
Was that
just
good?
so. Oh, dude, he was awesome.
That's awesome.
and then you contrast that.
He wasn't
with-
going by the government outline. He was
Oh.
going. This is what's interesting to me.
Yeah.
That's why I became a teacher.
He was anti-establishment growing up, and he was still anti-establishment.
We
in
did
the
we did this.
He was an anarchist. It was great.
We did this thing called locker room boxing, where we would just pair up people, be like, Caleb and Aaron Darnaby are going at it, at this time, and I'd film it. And there was I think it was the F drive at school where any computer connected to the school servers,
So you dropped the video on the F drive so
Yeah.
people could watch it?
anybody,
That's
including Shannon
hilarious.
Underwood. Shannon Underwood would be like,
That's
"Hey,"
amazing.
he goes, "You guys gonna have any more fights?" And he would give me suggestions. He'd be like, "Make sure that." He'd be like, make sure these two go at it. Just try to get them to go at it. Andrew Bond and J.R. Anderson. Make them fight. I'm like, okay, I'll see what I can do. And
He's like, he pissed me off the other day in class.
oh
He
my
turned his
God,
homework.
dude, it's so good. But Coach White, Corey White.
Yeah, Corey.
He came to me. He's like, really enjoying the fights, but you got to stop. I was like, oh shit, sorry, dude. So we had to stop.
No,
But-
I have a great Underwood story, and it's because he had Kyle before he had me.
Oh, right.
The older brother. Like it's just
Right.
his reputation, his shadow precedes
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
So he had me, and we're going through roll call my first day, and I think it was a sophomore or a junior, and like we'd all heard like just great things. Like Underwood's awesome. And the first day of your class, like he's all like just stone faced, like completely just acting out of character on purpose.
Yeah.
And he's up there and he's talking and he's like, Kaleb Clark, I'm here. He goes, Kyle's little brother? I said, yes, sir. Yeah. And he goes,
Dude, that
I'm
is
like-
Underwood.
and I'm like, wait, what? And then like I tried to lighten the mood later because like I raised my hand, I whatever. And I was like, and Kyle told me that you guys play a lot of pocket tanks on the computer. Remember that game?
yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Pocket
game.
tanks.
Great game.
And he goes, stay on task, please.
Oh my God.
Just deadpanned. I'm just like, this is gonna be terrible. and then like we go through our syllabus and stuff, and like he gives us like a first chapter to read or whatever. End of the class, bell's getting ready, we're all packing up. And he goes, Clark, get up here. I'm like, oh my god, not the first day. And I walk up there, and I just turned to see his computer screen. He goes, what color tank you want?
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he had it set up. I'm like, and he started to laugh, and he goes, I was just messing with you.
That's Underwood, dude. That's what he did all the
He's a
time.
baller, dude.
Yeah, he is.
Such
He's
a
legit.
baller teacher.
Legit as shit.
I used to love coming to you guys in
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
I used to come for like lunches.
Yeah, I'd be like,
stuff.
what the hell's Colin doing?
Dude, I got in trouble one time at your high school for like coming to see lunches. So like I checked in the office. I'm like, hey, my name's Collin Crossland. I'm here to see my friends for lunch.
Right.
They're like, okay, cool. You just named the friends that you want to come up and have lunch with you up here. I'm like,
I'm out.
yeah, just give me a minute. I got a phone call. And then like she
gone.
walked back, and I'm like, I'm going to the cafeteria. And then your coach came out and started yelling at me. He's like, you can't do that. I'm like, well, fucking did.
I got in trouble
know who
at
I
high
am?
school. I got in trouble at high school lunch too one time. I
bet you did.
It was when I was going through my darker phase.
Mm-hmm.
Darker phase.
Like,
Um,
complexion.
And no, it was definitely more
Tanning a lot. those days.
definitely
lotion.
more internal darkness. And I felt slighted because they were allowing poor Nick Bonner, before I knew Nick Bonner, to hold like a Bible study like
Oh,
on
yeah,
Wednesdays
yeah.
after lunch in front of
Hey.
the mirrors. So then I organized a satanic group study.
Did you really?
Yeah, you graduated.
Caleb, you're lucky I didn't know that.
It was my senior year.
Nick Bonner was a lovely
See what happens
person.
when he doesn't
I
have my guidance?
love Nick Bonner to death, but this is before I knew him, and like I hadn't attended Riverton Friends
Revolution.
anything since like Bobby was there,
Cow.
and
Oh, church on Wednesday. Oh my God, did that
know.
just
so
happen?
yeah, I
Did I do that out
hosted.
of reflex?
Yeah, you did.
Go ahead.
But no, I
Remember this? Do you remember this? Sorry, dude. Church on Wednesday. Dude, that was crazy.
Dude,
Now
Bobby
I-
used to get us pumped up, man.
I know.
It was a good time.
When he busted it, dude.
Bobby was
You
awesome.
gotta finish your story because we're about to go on
No.
On a tangent.
cow talk.
All I did was just organize a satanic cult meeting.
Okay,
because
who attended?
because it was freedom of religion.
Who attended?
Cody Persinger, William Wilson,
Of
those
course.
guys.
Cody.
Because not because we're all Satanists or anything, because we wanted freedom of religion and inclusivity.
Yeah, of course you did.
So, my bad, big guy up there, my bad.
You apologize to him. He's the one that's offended.
No, he was
He's like,
he was definitely there.
who led our satanic leading? Kaleb Clark. Fuck.
You gotta get him down here. We need a meeting. But no, that was it. That's
Interesting.
I also got in trouble by Zach Martin when we organized senior skip day. About 10 seniors skipped that day. And I walked into his office. So he called us all into the office one by one. He goes, "Where were you yesterday?" I said, "I was at the doctor." He goes, "Could you produce a note?" I go, "My mom called the office and
You could see the cut of my penis.
and I didn't I didn't get a note." I was like you can I said you can call her if you want.
It's unbelievable what they want to go after. They're like,
Well,
they skipped.
still,
I will punish them.
I used
It's like they-
in college. I used getting a vasectomy as an excuse.
They believed you.
Well, I was like, I can prove it.
They're like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
They're like, nope, don't drop trow here, please. Thank
I
you.
used the penile reduction excuse.
Penile reduction. They're like, yeah, right.
They didn't buy it. They said, "Yeah, you're absent."
All right, random tangents.
Oh shit. Okay, fine.
Let's do it.
All right, so what do you guys want to talk about?
I want to talk about Cal.
Church on Wednesday.
Yeah. I want to talk
Back in the
about.
day.
I want to talk about.
I thought we were
childhood.
literally going to talk about
We're
livestock.
talking about
for
our
a second.
childhood.
I want to talk about how revolutionary Bobby DeBusk was at one point in his life when he took over Cal.
Bobby DeBusk was probably the best youth minister the churches had
That
ever
is
had
no
at the time.
understatement.
It was insane. We went from Brocky Govan, which she was. Great.
I wasn't
she
really
was great.
I wasn't really part of that.
She was
though.
super
Were
sweet.
you?
She was like my
part of that?
babysitter while
Yeah.
my parents were out of town.
I was. Oh, okay.
And then
okay.
like she didn't give a shit what I did, which was a great start.
Right.
To being my babysitter.
Yeah.
And then Bobby comes in and just changes the game.
I remember I was skateboarding with Josh. Remember that ramp outside the Riverton?
Oh,
Friends?
yeah.
Skateboarding down that ramp, and he came over and he's like, "Oh, cool skateboard, whatever." And he kick flipped.
Yep.
And I was like, "Holy shit!"
Well, you have our respect immediately.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I will follow you into
The
battle.
Dude.
first thing I ever filmed was you skating at the bridge, and then doing tricks on the bridge of Riverton, the Riverton Friends Church Bridge across the.
Oh yeah. Oh
Remember
yeah.
you were trying
yeah.
to like land that gap and you didn't do it.
Well, it's on gravel.
I made
My
a class
God.
project of Colton just wiping out.
It's just on
and
gravel.
everyone's like, "This is dope." Like,
Does he
I
ever
like-
land it?
I like it.
it was great.
No man, it just.
I got an A.
It just, you're welcome. He just took the concept of Church on Wednesday, which is kind of like already like it's a new thing, right? I don't think church is being held on Wednesday for a
My
while.
church only does like one Wednesday.
It definitely came along after the whole institution of like Passover and like
Right.
Sundays
Right.
as far as church goes. Sorry to break it to you guys. I'm not
But
even
he
a
took it
biblical
to a
historian.
whole new level. I mean, he took it to a whole freaking new level with games. The games were genius.
Yeah, like we had
Genius.
some great, like it was the best possible youth program you could have in a small town.
My life was changed when I was on the couch. He had couches, so it was like a cool hangout, and there was that side room, and the music starts playing. The fog machine goes off. That door opens up. I
pops
swear to
out.
God, Bobby in a full fucking cow suit with an udder and everything
Yeah,
right here.
he's like,
"Welcome to Cow." Oh my
Church
God.
of
What is
Wednesday.
this? It was like a fucking rock concert.
It was genius. I mean, it worked. And he used to like, we were like in 8th to 6th grade,
Yeah.
and he'd be like,
Yep.
he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Did you guys see that cow that went through here?"
Yeah.
He never broke character.
No.
Ever.
And then we just ate it up, dude.
Yeah, it was
the
so-
games. You remember? I remember one game which was 3 platforms, and they had like a bowl or like a box over something.
Yep.
And you had to pick it up and name the thing as fast as you could.
Oh yeah.
And the last one was a trash can.
Do you realize that was like before Jimmy Fallon made it a thing?
Oh, I believe it.
That's
I did not-
impressive.
I didn't know that. The last one was a trash can with Lucky Goosey's head. he would get in the trash
Yeah,
can.
he like.
And so like the chick would, it was like improv. It was almost
Yeah,
like
some girl would be like, "It's lucky."
No, they would scare the hell out of them. They'd be like, "Apple, baseball bat." Whoa, God!
Yeah,
it was
it was the
awesome.
best.
It was great. It was. Really
It made us listen. So
It-
that was-
It really did. It caught my attention.
I remember my short time going there with him there. It seems in like as reflecting back on it,
He came to a bunch of parties.
he definitely understood the attention span of our generation.
Very
he
short.
definitely understood that
Huh?
like church is not going to get kids to come on Wednesday nights.
Right.
It's gotta
Just
be, it's gotta be
worship.
something more.
Well, even worship
But,
was
like,
different, you know.
But I mean, that
he built up like
it was full every night.
an
Yeah.
aura around that.
Yeah.
Like people would be talking about that at lunch, like on Wednesdays. Like, dude, are you going tonight?
He
Oh,
he understood the intangibles of like bringing people,
Right.
Which was very cool, and it was very nice to have that in our youth, and I think it kept us out of a lot of trouble. We were in a lot of trouble, but it, like,
Right.
Well, also the content of his sermons.
Mitigated quite a bit of it.
yeah.
I mean, I remember going to like a 3-week series on like sex. That he,
Yeah, I remember
That's
that.
not
that
easy.
I remember
that he gave with a room full of giggling adolescents
Right.
with extreme dignity
Yeah.
and like a seriousness.
Right.
Like we had our fun, we had our games. Once we got settled in, did all that stuff. When he started it, you could just tell he kind of like lowered his tone. You know, he relaxed everybody. He said, "Now, everyone, bear with me.
Yeah.
There's
right.
go-
we
gonna
got to
be-
get through this.
There's gonna be parts. You know, you're gonna laugh. You know, it was never like, don't be disrespectful to the Lord's
Right.
word.
Right.
He knew his audience.
That he knew that wouldn't work.
and
That's
and,
fair.
and and he knew how to market the sermons.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to put it in kind of corporate talk, like he knew how to phrase things, what to leave out, what to maybe add like a nice little analogy for, or maybe it's like a personal experience anecdote kind of thing. But like I remember just like taking it so much more seriously because I could just tell that
He was a genuine person. That
Yeah.
was just trying to like.
it definitely came
convey a
across.
message. It was nice.
It definitely came across that he tied so many things in with his upbringing and like what he went through. I remember him like he went to school with Plaxico Burress, a former NFL wide receiver for the
wide
Steelers.
receiver, Yeah, I remember that.
And he
no, Giants.
and I remember he was with the Steelers later in his career after he shot himself in the leg. But I remember he was getting ready to go to college, and the high school professor during his final said, "I'm going to leave the room, and when I come back, I'll grade the finals." Like pretty much saying, "Plaxico, you can cheat."
Oh, right.
And he said a bunch of students had run up there and just handed his papers out because everyone knew like he was going to go pro.
Right.
And Bobby, like Bobby was friends with him, like played basketball with him on the team and everything.
I remember this.
Bobby could dunk before Plaxico.
I know when he dunked, it was kind of like when he kick flipped. I was like,
Yeah.
"I will follow you into battle, Bobby."
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was like, "A ginger that can dunk."
But no, like, what did Bobby do? Like when that happened?
And Bobby said, like, my first impulse was to just go with the crowd. Like, get up, just take whatever inches I had, cross-check them, get my paper correct too. And he goes, like, I just felt this little string in my soul just being pulled back, like, just stay in your seat. Do the right thing.
It was really cool. I remember that story.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
cool
it-
that
yeah,
you remember
and-
that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what, like, good teachers like Shane Underwood, that's what good pastors like Bobby did. Because they're understanding and their just genuine nature, it definitely comes across. I think that is because when you think of like high school teachers or
Good
like
teachers are hard to
influencers,
find, man. Like,
it's
Well, it's an easy gig. You get summers off,
yeah.
weekends off, and I think it attracts a lot of.
I would
hate to
say
it's
my
lazy people.
girlfriend would say it's not an easy gig.
Well, I mean,
But
and
she
I
does
agree.
get summers off. And
I
she's
agree.
always golfing in the summers, and it pisses me off.
Easy is maybe not the right.
I
Maybe
went
not
to
the
the
right
pool and I
word.
went golfing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I don't want to say it's easy, I guess, but the structure of it is a lot different than a regular 9 to 5, where it's like,
oh yeah.
snow day. No one gets snow days. Like downstream never closes or
No,
whatever.
never.
Crossland never closes.
Never.
No. But I mean, you get a snow day for that, or you get a sick day or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I see how.
like Casey Mayfield's another one
Yeah.
comes to mind.
Oh yeah, big
like
time.
like she is the reason
Sarah Davis.
that I ever like started taking writing seriously. So I've told her that to her face. I've told that to students, past and current and everything else. Like she is the reason because she took it seriously when I was just going to her ask a question about like my introduction one time, and she goes, "Oh, that's a really good metaphor you used there. And I said, what's a metaphor? Because like I know I was playing this jock role. I was living up to what I thought my expectations were. So I was just like,
And she helped you realize that you were more.
well, she's like, you write really well. And I was like, I looked around. I'm like, can you lower your voice, please?
Can you stop that?
You can hear
Trying to
some
get
snickering
laid,
from
so.
the dudes.
Well, and like she goes, do you mind if I use this?
Dude writes really well.
She's like, do you mind if I use this? And that's how shallow
Oh, shit.
the depth used to go in my mind. And she's like, can I use this as an example in next class? I was like, is there nobody else you can use as an example?
Yeah. Don't
Is
use
there
my
anybody who like is known for writing?
Can you use a pseudonym for my name?
I am Henry. but no.
Henry
what age group does your girlfriend teach?
So she used to be a 4th grade teacher. Oh, sorry, I was drinking whiskey.
it's potent, dude.
It really is good. though.
Booker's is hardcore.
That's rough stuff.
I drink green tea, guys.
Um,
Above the influence.
so she used to teach 4th grade. Now she's a literacy, I would say, coach. So what she does is basically she teaches elementary school teachers how to teach reading better.
Oh, wow.
So she's employed by the state to improve practices of reading, and she works with certain troubled kids,
Right.
stuff like that. And she just started this year, and she's done. I guess she loves it. So she's always telling me stories.
That's
about
cool.
How it's fun.
So she's not just at one school. She just goes to all these schools.
No, just one school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess
Oh.
the state employs like it was kind of like paras, but like it's
Oh,
not
okay.
like school has changed a lot from when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like I'm comparing what her school does from what our elementary school did.
Yeah, right.
She's like, yeah, they separate the 4th grade class to 4 different ones. I'm like, they never did that shit for me.
Yeah,
Like,
right. Right.
I was just in these room with these animals.
Well,
Like,
apparently you never had a speech impediment.
Yep.
I sure
So-
did.
It's just it's
What
it's
what'd you
cool.
have trouble with?
When I was younger, I would like preschool. I had like an actual speech therapist that I would go to see.
Like, did you, like, where you had trouble with like a one letter? Like,
No, I
Ours?
would
Always?
be talking so fast.
Always.
Nothing.
Pop.
I always think of
Nothing from like a
Yeah.
like a pronunciation standpoint. It
the
was
speed.
I used to talk so fast that I would
Uh-huh.
leave out parts of sentences.
Oh, okay.
So it was basically getting to slow me
So
down.
your brain was rapidly firing faster.
I had a Lamborghini mind
makes
and like
sense.
bicycle
That makes a lot of
brakes.
sense.
Yeah,
actually.
that does not
Yeah.
surprise me.
It definitely tracks.
Dude, Kelsey,
Definitely
Kelsey
tracks.
does the same thing to where when I listen to her talk, I can fill in the gaps of her sentences. She's more of like a skipper. Like she's skipping through her sentence, and it's like you forgot that word.
She's a,
Like
she's,
that person has no idea that you're talking about your car right now.
She's a spark note kind of person.
yeah.
I've noticed that the older I get, and this is something my uncles and my dad do, they want to convey something they're thinking of, but they don't know how to do it. And I've started to notice that I have the same problem. So I'll
Oh.
be thinking about a complex subject, or like some kind
Bitcoin.
of. I'll be like, I don't know how to tell you what I'm thinking. And so like I'll end up like writing down where I want to get, and then I'll slowly work a conversation down through that notepad, like all the way to like my final conclusion. Yeah, so it's weird. My uncle does the same thing, but he does it with numbers. So he'll write
Okay.
down a number, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is that number?
Yeah.
And then he'll just like slowly explain out, the tax and like what we need to do when it comes to market cap.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he ends up right at that number like 10 minutes later of what he first wrote down. So his mind is constantly working faster than what he can actually communicate to other people. And it scares me that I'm becoming like them.
It's good. They're in a good spot.
I think you're seeing a lot of that now, like corporate environments that are like trying to head towards that Google route, where they're taking more emphasis on individual personalities within the organization itself,
Sure.
and then trying to, I guess, make known how to communicate best, or how to, I guess, not read people, but like, forget what company it was, but they took personality tests,
Yeah, we did that too.
and then based off the results, and they're published and
God.
everything, and then
What'd you get?
The exact blueprint of how my mind works.
ENF
Now everybody knows.
ENFP.
There's nothing worse than a personality test coming back and be like, this person isn't always going to enforce the rules. Or this person will do anything it takes to make his, like, what he perceives
Right.
progress to making it happen.
They're like, hey, check
And
this
so
out.
I'm like, God damn it! Now they know who I am. Like,
That's interesting.
I've been
it's the worst. And the worst part is like my dad is the one that like went through my results, and he's like, Colin, I've only seen these results that look like this one other time, and I'm like, were they yours? And he's like, they're exactly the same as mine.
That makes
And I'm
sense.
like, and all these times he didn't think I was learning anything.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been watching you, Dad.
the apple in the tree. I've been an INFJ.
INFJ.
ENTP.
Every
ENTP.
single test I've ever
Switch
taken.
with the J. ENTJ or ENTP. Depends. Switches.
I'm more that.
Yeah.
ENFSP or something like that.
ENSP.
X
Extrovert.
for Q.
Intuitive sensing feeling. Yeah.
Like-
I think it's ENFP.
I have
Perce-
I have a hyperpensity for getting my
Yeah.
point across, or like being able to,
Yeah, that's Myers-Briggs.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
it's there's they maybe do 3 new ones. There's like
Oh, wow.
there's one with like a triangle and like where you like run to whenever you have like it was. I mean, it was all scary accurate. That was the worst part about it. And I didn't really think I was filling out anything that was like supposed to be true.
Turn back to that. Right.
Like I thought it was just, like they had
What
like
do- what do
had
they want to hear?
They had 20 true or
Yeah.
false questions, and I'm like, no big deal. Like
Right.
I'm like, I got other shit to do, so I just answered as best I could real fast.
Probably the
It's
way you're supposed to do it.
Exact layout of my mind, and it was the worst. It's like we'll go to any above all heights to make
Right.
sure that he accomplishes what he perceives the future to be and what he perceives progress will be for, the betterment of the organization,
Right.
rather than what other, even if facts don't add up to it. I'm like, God damn it.
Now they know. You ever like trip over the
Facts.
Do you ever
Dadgummit.
trip over the question because you're like, if I answer it this way, it's going to show that I'm
I
much
know
more
what's gonna
introverted.
happen.
Yeah,
I answered it so fast it didn't
that's what I was saying. It's probably good that you did it so quickly, so you don't think about it.
Yeah.
I'm very calculated.
Like
Like,
tense.
Caleb, you're an extrovert. I'm like,
You're a fucking psychopath.
but you'll never know that.
Exactly.
Based off my test results.
Exactly.
I just,
Jordan Peterson has a really good
Those
one.
things are scary,
What
man.
is what's that called? Do you remember what it's called?
Jordan Pearson's
Mhm.
thing? Oh, no.
Whatever it is, it's genius.
Future authoring. The future authoring program. Really, really cool. It's sort of like a personality test, but it draws out like 2 things. First, you write down like what you want to be, like what's your ideal as far as like, do you want to be a great husband? Do you want to own a big ass house? Do you want to change the world? Whatever. And you kind of break it down as much as details as possible. And then the next one is you basically create your own hell. Like, what is the worst outcome that could happen? Like, get a divorce or, lose
Yeah.
your job or whatever. And then you use both of those. You use both
Cut
of those
that out.
as motivators.
I don't read the script. Script reads me.
you use both of those as motivators. One is like, look, if you do what you're supposed to do, then you can become your ideal. If you don't, look what's going to happen. And it's like, oh shit, one's fear, motivator of fear, and one's a fear of motivator or inspiration of motivation.
Well, Tim Ferriss has this whole thing
Who?
about it. Tim Ferriss has this whole thing about he's doing fearless. Like he did a TED talk on being fearless. And
Okay.
basically what it is like, okay, these are the things that I'm trying to accomplish.
Okay.
What's the worst possible thing that could happen?
Okay,
that I'm trying to
yeah,
accomplish? So
right.
he wanted to take a break from business for like a year and travel Europe. He's
Yeah.
like, so what's the worst thing? He's like, well, the business bankrupts. He's like, so, and then in the middle
Yeah.
is how do you mitigate that?
Uh-huh.
Like, what step can you do to make sure that doesn't happen? And in the middle, he filled out, like I can run my business from Europe, slowly, like from a mobile output, I could hire more people and get more overhead and, mitigate the, the loss of my leadership.
I don't
And
know.
so from that, he was able to like basically erase all the fears he had, kind of thing.
I don't know if it was Tim that said it or if Tim was quoting someone, but I remember him saying, how hard would it be for you to get back to where you are right now
Yep.
if you were to take a chance on something?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that kind of...
that's the same thing.
Right.
basically.
Like if you were to quit your job and try to travel, like
Yeah.
how hard would it be to get your job back
Yeah,
and just
could
get
you,
back?
Could you come back? kind of
Exactly.
thing, yeah.
How hard would it be?
Yeah.
Which alleviates a lot of fear
when
once
people
you think about
when
it.
people just break it down, they realize it's like, oh, I guess it wouldn't be that difficult. I could
Yeah.
probably find a job at another organization.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just really just pacing yourself and
Right.
like you're basically managing. Not I wouldn't say managing your own fears, but you're like you're minimizing your risk of failure
Mm-hmm.
and based on like plan Bs.
It's a deconstructing of fear, right? Like when the fear is when you put it in the idea of, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna travel the world. The fear is this giant fire breathing fucking demon. And then when you start breaking it down, you go, well, oh, that's not fire, that's sunlight. And oh, those aren't horns, those are trees. You know, you're breaking it down to something that you can understand, and you're like, that's not actually a demon at all. That doesn't scare me. But until you acknowledge it and actually look at it, you're like, oh my God, that's not as scary as I thought it was. You know? That's kind of what that's all about.
Well, I guess if you have fears, that works. But, I take Jocko Willink's approach quite literally, where I look so forward to saying good to bad things that I sabotage everything I start from the beginning. So then
you can say good,
and then good, and then I mean now,
my whole life is ruined.
Yeah, it's a wreck. Honestly, I could use some help from you guys but I'm not scared. Certainly not.
I don't know what to do here.
Jocko's not scared, so I'm not scared.
Does he do this?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
When he has too much nicotine from his little.
Oh, his little pen.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Look how big his pupils are.
Wait. Are you guys making fun of me?
No, we love you, Caleb.
I'm sorry. I'm just more
love
naturally
We
funny
accept- we
and
accepted
don't
you are a
perceive
long
fear.
time ago.
You're good. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
So, what advice do you guys have when it comes to monogamy?
Oh,
Like,
wow.
I'm trying to be the best boyfriend possible. Like, I feel like I knocked Valentine's Day out of the park.
Okay.
I really did.
That's
I
cool.
really
What-
felt, because like,
What'd you do?
well, first of all, I drove back from Texas 500 miles just to be with her that night.
You go to dinner?
Got her a nice dinner reservation. I took her to an underground bar lit by candlelight where we had cocktails all night.
That's cool.
We sat in the same booth Al Capone sat
No shit.
in Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
Above the urinal at this place called J. Rieger Hotel,
Huh.
it says Al Capone pissed here.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, so it was really cool, and we had a nice night. And I think the best part was like she had work the next day, and I had like been on the road for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I want to come up, but I got to be at work. And I like pulled out the parking pass from like my suit jacket. And she's like, oh, you knew you weren't getting laid tonight. That's adorable. Like,
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like that was key.
Yeah, that was a good move.
But, you know, I'm constantly trying to like figure out, because I'm trying to catch up. Like, I don't know. I don't have any experience being a boyfriend. Period. I don't at all. Like, besides like 1 year in junior year of college, and then before that was high school. So catching up here, playing the catch up game.
When was Valentine's Day?
January.
February 14th.
January 9th.
I have nothing to say on this.
You know,
I have flowers to buy, gentlemen. Give me a second, please.
boyfriend is an interesting title because
It's cute. It really, it's adorable.
because it can be eradicated at any moment. You know, nowadays, most people.
You're the worst.
I am so unfit to talk about this, but I'm going to.
Because
Continue.
most people can back out of it so easily.
I know.
So like
Yeah.
when I talk about monogamy, I mostly talk about like husband and wife, just
Yeah.
because it's a lot harder to back out.
Of course,
Sort of.
because it's vows before
Unless
Yeah. Well, even that, it's like the people. I think about that a lot. Like the
God.
people that were at the damn wedding.
Yeah, you like everybody in front of your wedding.
You'd
Did
have
you
to-
ever make your wedding video, by the way?
I'm gonna tell you some advice on.
I
I'm gonna give you
colored
some-
that.
I'm gonna give you some advice on
Unbelievable.
monogamy. But no, I haven't cut it yet. I've watched it a lot, but I just need to sit down. Anyway, Adam told me, and I never forgot about this, and you could probably use it for boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah.
But he always told me to fight naked. Always fight naked. I thought that was pretty
You mean
interesting.
vulnerable, not naked.
Maybe, I don't
Or
know.
maybe both.
I don't know.
as literal as you can make it.
Yeah, just be vulnerable, but maybe also fight naked. It's kind of hard to be mad at someone when you're naked.
Here's kind of what I've gathered from just basically.
Parabolic.
You writing that down? Are you writing that down?
Fight
Parabolic
naked.
equals mathematical certainty.
Mathematic-
Fight naked.
He's like,
You're getting a lot from this, aren't you, Caleb?
This is basically like junior college.
Courtney,
all over
I
again.
got a lot of things to talk about. I got a parabolic, and we got to fight naked.
Why do I sound like the kid?
Is that your impression of Caleb?
Yeah, no, I am Caleb. I am Caleb.
So like I'm kind of Swedish, but I'm not sure.
That's fine.
I am 7 foot tall.
Welcome to the Sweden. We're go. It's like a
Very
fake
nice.
You take buy a Bitcoin.
My sister, she big slut.
Oh,
she big
no.
prostitute.
All right,
She
here's
gets
what
this.
I've learned so far is that when someone is willing to meet you halfway as much as you're willing to meet them, that is the building blocks of what continues on to something more healthy. Really?
Halfway.
And that a relationship that not only has God in the forefront, but when you're both there to serve, like you're in a band, all right? One of you might be on lead guitar and the other might be on tambourine. If you're on tambourine, play it fucking right. You know,
Right.
tambourine, motherfucker, tambourine. As Chris Rock says in his special. Go check that out.
Yeah.
But like seriously, it's like when you're both there to serve. Her success is your success, and your success is her success.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's what I've gathered in the last 8 months.
Yeah.
Out of a decade.
You always have to wonder, what your actions, who are your actions for, and who your words are for. So, like when you're speaking to her, like, are you speaking for your gain or her gain, or are you doing
Yeah.
this thing?
Are you venting your own thoughts to rise a
Like-
reaction to make sure you're not crazy, kind of thing?
Yeah,
Maybe not
right.
necessarily that long
Right.
thought,
More
but-
of like, yeah, I'm not really quite sure how to go with that. But as far as who are you for? Are you for her? Like, do you want her to succeed? Do you want her to feel comfortable?
So
Do you want?
So she sponsored a literacy night at this elementary school in Blue Springs, Missouri. And I was like, it would go great with that. A giant inflatable big red dog that says Crossland Construction.
That's okay.
And I'm like, come on, babe. Like,
I
it'd
like
be great.
it. I
It'd be
like
great.
it.
It'd be hilarious.
It's called
Put
product
it
placement.
Put it outside the front. We just put a big Crossland sign. We'll
Yeah.
give out hard hats. I'm trying to recruit little kids
Is
before
this-
they even get to high
I
school.
like
Is this where
Like,
literacy
manage your
night is?
expectations. Some of you can color inside the lines. The other you need to weld.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get a drone certificate.
Did she
We're
like
gonna
it? Did she
fly.
like the idea or
No,
no?
she wouldn't do it. And I offered. I was like, I'll sponsor your book fair. That'd be
Yeah.
great. I'll just like swipe the card. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not using your company's money. And I'm like,
I do.
Like, usually that works. Usually
no,
that
she's
works.
just,
I've found using the word bitch always works.
yes. And
Just cut them down in their prime.
she would like,
My
she'd
favorite-
go, hey.
My favorite term from Caleb so far is, damn it, I gotta go back to bitchita.
That
You got to cut that.
that truly no. I actually let her know. I was like, honey, you'll never guess what I did with a little play on words with the city name here. It's
Dude, we were at that wedding.
I know. That's why I invited people I don't even
There was
like.
still a kick-ass photo.
Oh my
So
God.
that
Swing
way,
of
that
one.
way I have
That
no
wedding.
regrets.
You locked us out of the hotel room.
No,
And
I was,
you almost-
no, I was trying
you
to make
almost
out with this
blinded-
one girl.
You
and then-
almost blinded Jacob.
And then
I almost blinded Jacob.
And then she was like, I was like, you want to make out? She's like, no. I'm like, all right, everybody, the fuck out of my room. Like,
Do you remember what happened when we got in the room? We tucked you.
you
in
tucked
bed.
me in. Yeah. I need sleep. Like,
You just lay there like this, and we tucked you in bed. You're
yeah,
like,
I remember because like the sheets were so tight around my body. I was like, what is this?
I think you'll be fine in monogamy. I think just like your personality test, where you'll go to the ends of the earth.
I really haven't had a second thought.
No,
I think it's
well,
because
you make up your
she's-
mind.
She's so good, and it bothers me. Like, I can't scare you away. It just doesn't work. She sticks through.
Yeah.
For once, I feel like the wise monk sitting up on the hill watching all my students just chase their tails around.
Oh, young grasshopper.
Yeah, you'll be good.
Look, I don't know where your head's at lately, so.
You know that Pixie song from Fight Club, Where Is My Mind?
Where is my
The one where it goes,
Pretty
Where
much.
is my mind? That's a good song.
I will be brutally honest in one aspect of this.
okay.
Just I'm pretty sure I probably told you before, but the nexus of a lot of any marital issues that I have encountered so far has been because I put her on a pedestal in my mind, and because by far she is probably the most consistent, above average, honestly, just amazing woman I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
So for a long time, because she was on that pedestal, I confused admiration for compatibility.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that me and her are not compatible on. She, again, consistent. She's been the same person with the same expectations since, we started dating.
Mm-hmm.
But I am someone with my personality score of INFJ.
Which I
Someone
still don't believe the
who's
introvert part of that.
constantly seeking improvement, interested in just damn near everything, and will always be in a perpetual state of fluctuation.
Yeah.
Either up, down, based on my mood. And that,
Hopefully not. Hopefully we get to a spot where we're not fluctuating all the time.
I think it annoys my.
right?
I think it annoys my friends.
That's the goal.
As long as we're doing what we want to do, then fluctuation can go. I don't care about that.
I would say fluctuation is definitely in my friendships. Like like if I'm having a bad time, I'll fuck with my friends just like to see what they do, kind of
Right.
just like mess with them.
To
It's
test.
it's his litmus test.
Right.
How
loyal.
like picking you up one night and then five and just you're like, wait, turn around. And then we just stopped at the break district and you're just like, here's good. And you just jumped out of Tucker's truck and I'm like,
That happened.
call me if
I'm
you need
honestly
me.
not sure how I got home.
He told me the story the next day.
I don't know how I
Funny
got home.
thing was he was telling me the story and he didn't know where you were. End of the story, you called.
I called. I'm like, hey, did you take me home last
And
night?
you're like, oh, speak of the devil.
Yeah, I answered the phone call in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I was like, Colin's good.
Yeah, he's alive.
He doesn't have any calls to
You don't-
anybody. He's not sure.
It's just
how
like
he
the
got
time I left the bar from JB's and I found it was like after the tornado. It was like when the town was still recovering, and I found a golf cart in the middle of the damage district, and I took that golf cart
Allegedly.
and I drove it all the way to my parents' house in Arbor Hills in Joplin,
oh, wow.
all the way from like 10th Street
An
all the way
An
home.
abandoned golf cart was charged.
First of all, how did I not get pulled over? Second,
I have a young white male juvenile driving your golf cart at 3 in the
the
morning.
worst thing was like, Colin, why is there a golf cart on its side in our front lawn? I'm like, I have no
Why is it on its side?
and I just remember I remember waking up and I hearing that and I'm like, I have no fucking idea how that happened.
What?
That's crazy.
Did someone come get it or? We still have it. We still have the golf cart.
No, we don't have that anymore.
We
Oh
put
my
it to great use. It was a nice, easy go. It's just a
It
nice
had
car.
Christmas lights on it.
Oh, really?
I remember that.
That's a nice touch.
The most thing.
I
and
like it.
I remember just being in the disaster zone after the tornado of
Uh-huh.
Joplin and like walking in and be like, there's no way this thing starts. And it didn't have a key, but I had a golf cart, an Easy Go key on my key ring at the time.
Of course he does.
From like when I used to go to the Columbus Country Club.
Right.
and
I
still
just-
their golf.
And I just went,
Never golfed.
and it just go beep. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is my ride home.
Oh my god.
And I took it all the way home.
That's some tumultuous time.
I think it was a sophomore in college. Something like that.
Oh really?
I mean, it was when
Wait.
It was after the tornado. So I must have been.
Did you go to
a junior
college in MSSU?
No, I went to Florida.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you were back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I
like,
came.
I didn't think you went to college
I
here.
came back right as the tornado happened,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, that was the worst when
Yeah,
you
that's
walked in all
crazy.
that. But not like after hooking up with the Red Cross for a while and working with Wes and chopping down trees and doing
Yeah,
search and
yeah,
rescue for pets and all that shit. I went to the bar. This is the first time I probably drank in forever. So.
Work hard, play hard.
Save lives.
By forever, I mean like 2 weeks.
Kill brain cells.
Can you tell the story about crack? That one's so funny.
I'm not going to tell the crack story.
I'll tell mine.
No.
No, you made me tell that story once outside.
I'm sorry.
After the Stoa premiere, and it was right outside my parents' bedroom. Now that I look back,
It
and
was
I'm
so
like,
funny.
so I'm pretty sure they know that like I accidentally
Yeah.
smoked crack.
Fuck it. It was one of the best stories I've ever heard. It was so
Those
I told it to you. Too,
Those
not doing this.
mistaken identity crack stories are the best.
good. Yeah, that's definitely a
It might
genre.
not even been crack,
Genre.
might have been like PCP.
Whatever it was, hilarious. The way that it played out, and then the way that you found out was the best. Anyway,
But no, me and Colton were talking about the tornado the other day about like,
Please.
especially Rangeline and how they've kind of like rebuilt that, with
Yeah, that was the first thing to
for
go
the
back up,
best.
which I thought was stupid.
But
Huh?
We should have cleared out more before building.
Did you know
range
about the Google hub that Joplin denied?
I think I might have heard something about that. But
Yeah,
explain it to
tornado
me.
comes through, decimates, right? They're
Yeah.
rebuilding. Google goes, hey, we'll come in. Joplin will be a Google hub. We'll build a building that is Google. We'll supply the whole town with Google fiber, and then
No way.
and
Yeah.
this story will look great upon the
Yeah.
front page of MSNBC,
Exactly.
CNN, and
and it'll attract jobs. We'll create new innovations.
Joplin said no.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
someone was in somebody's
They've had
pocket
some
on that
great
one.
winner ideas. I'll give them that though.
Like what?
Like none.
Oh, I was gonna say because I haven't heard
Pure
anything good.
sarcasm.
So one thing is like I got a good buddy who does microbrewery. Like he likes to brew little beers and whatnot. And he was talking about how the Joplin committee or whatever. Is it, what is the deal with the microbrewery? Like there's no microbreweries in Joplin. Like Springfield's got Mothers, and they got the other one I can't think of it. Big breweries that create a lot of industry, new jobs, tourism. Joplin has none. Like it's illegal to have a microbrewery in Joplin.
It's a
I don't know
and
if it's,
pit bulls.
I don't
This
know.
is bullshit.
That's why he went to Kansas City.
House is a fucking prison.
I gotta go where Tech 9 is king.
KC baby.
But I don't know if it's illegal. But why doesn't Joplin have
Who's
any
Tech 9?
microbreweries?
Dude, I like first
Huh?
of all, when the whole Joplin tornado happened, we Crossland scrambled. Like our job was to put all of the high school facilities, or as much as we could, in the empty part of the North Park Mall.
Right.
Like, that was so.
Of
we
Joplin.
scrambled and we made storm shelters and we made sure that like the Joplin kids had a place to go from the tornado at graduation date in less than 3 months. And we did all that, and then we bid for the new Joplin High School, and they picked somebody else. And then they ended up going over with that contractor, and they ended up paying more and more money with that contractor, and they just totally screwed it up.
That sucks.
And my sympathy for the city of Joplin dropped to zero when I watched my family go to bat for the city, and you did nothing. Like
Right.
you couldn't see what was right in front of you. Did you really think we were gonna screw a project up that was 30 miles away
Right.
from like our headquarters? Are you out of your mind? Like
Is Joplin corrupt? Is that what it is? Are they corrupt?
I have
Or
no
what
idea,
was going
man.
on?
But
Like,
he's not bitter
It
at all.
seems like they're.
I know.
He's not.
I am a bitter, but it's just because I've been in Joplin for my entire most.
You lived on Main Street.
Well,
you know?
okay, so from like sophomore year to like senior year.
Yeah, but I
lived in
mean,
Joplin.
you lived there. How many
Lived on
how
Main
many
Street.
family members own businesses in Joplin?
A lot.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of commerce that comes from Joplin.
it was just annoying to see them pick like an outsider.
It's
Like they came in, dazzled them with like 3D models. Like this is like before VR kind of thing. They're like, oh, this is gonna be it.
That's what I would have
Yeah.
done.
Bunch of promises.
3D models.
Empty
And I-
promises.
Out
And
of
I
Play-Doh.
remember
Oh.
that project was like midway through, and my cousin Mikey came through, and he's like, "Oh man, this ain't gonna finish." I'm like, "How can you tell?" I'm like, "Oh, this ain't gonna finish." Like, and he was right. He was all right.
I didn't know that. That's a bummer.
Yeah, well, I just feel bad for the city of Joplin and the kids. I mean, they got screwed over basically. So
I think it's time to do some investigative reporting and get a documentary about Joplin City Council.
I
and
am so
everything
done
going
with
on.
Joplin. It's just
I almost
I'm
feel
tired,
that way.
man.
I know. I almost feel that way. I'm not there
It's
yet.
rough for people our age.
Yeah. You look at Joplin. Like, I look at Joplin and I feel like there's so much opportunity. Like, it's not
Oh, yeah.
too big, but there's enough here that this could be the ground level for some stuff,
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
you
microbrewery,
could kill it
a
in
production
Joplin.
studio. But then there's shit like that, you
They
know.
just
that-
have bad planning, man.
yeah, then they have shit like that where they're just
I don't
disloyal.
think they're corrupt, but
I
I
didn't-
think they're just stupid.
Well,
I don't know
they're
what's worse.
Sadly,
They're totally
corruption
corrupt.
would imply intelligence.
Yeah.
Incompetence
Yeah.
implies what they might be.
they're
I
totally
see.
corrupt. It makes for a better story.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with that.
Caleb just wants to make Icarus. That's
You
what he
heard
wants to
it-
make a documentary, and he wants to turn into Icarus.
You heard it here first, folks. Joplin is corrupt.
Oops.
but offer they can refuse.
Let's see who's on the board.
Wrong.
They're gonna come on the podcast and they're gonna explain.
They ain't gonna come on this podcast.
They're gonna. I'm going.
They can't
They
even
wouldn't be
spell
able to
pot.
handle the truth.
Tell me about the Google Fiber.
They're gonna walk in. They're gonna shut the door behind them.
You know
and
what?
Behind the door is gonna be a
Colton,
defense
based on the
lawyer.
timeline in my head, that does make sense though. because
What do you mean?
if you did come into a city that was completely ravaged by natural
Yep.
disaster,
Yeah.
you lay the
Everything's-
groundwork to rework their entire infrastructure,
Right.
especially if it went down to the core of the city.
Which it did.
And so they just decided on Kansas City as their pilot program, which is crazy.
I think that was quite a bit before Joplin ever happened, though. They chose Kansas
I
City.
don't think it was
Oh, fiber, Google Fiber.
in Kansas City.
Yeah, they
I
had
think it was
that.
2012.
I think it was even before that. Because I remember I remember that Pittsburgh claimed fucking Starbucks in Pittsburgh claimed
I
they
was
had
working
Google
for
Fiber.
Crossland when they outside of college when they did it.
It was Austin.
I remember 'cause I was
Pittsburgh.
like, we got to get in on this.
Yeah. Well, they ended up. Do you have Google Fiber?
Oh yeah, no, it's free for my apartment.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's amazing.
See, and that's what we could have had.
The entire city has free Wi-Fi to like
Everywhere.
like a I think 100 megabits per second.
Is it any good?
I mean, you can run one phone or one Apple TV off 100 megabits a second.
Well,
well.
I sure as hell can't get any cell phone service.
There's a
out there.
whole
So,
bunch of.
Hey, KC,
Who do you have? You got You have
I have Verizon.
I have
I have
U.S.
Verizon.
Cellular.
Well, that's your
That's
problem.
why.
Board of adjustment board.
Well,
Hey,
let's
dude.
all just take a big step back.
There's a lot of different
Verizon
boards,
sucks in
dude.
Dallas. AT&T throttles the speed in Dallas completely.
Why Dallas? You've been
AT&T
spending time down there.
Stadium's there.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
they own the market.
there's a lot of boards and commissions, dude. I didn't know there was so many.
City council will be the one.
City council.
just to give you an idea,
Not
an
s-
idea
not
of what I'm
Central.
dealing with in
Joplin
Wichita.
City Council.
There's not a U.S. Cellular store in
No.
Wichita.
And
Oh, there's not.
Sure isn't.
Oh, wow.
yeah, I've seen a lot of Wichita trying to work its infrastructure out.
Who wants to hear my thoughts on Wichita? Anybody? Anybody
be-
in the crowd? Yes,
I'll be,
yes, yes.
I'll be right back after a
Yes,
quick
you
bathroom
in the
break.
back.
Okay.
Colin
You-
Crossland is
here we go.
ready to do 3-hour podcast.
Michael Seibert is the mayor of Joplin. I'm gonna get these motherfuckers on the podcast.
So Wichita.
Oh, Miranda Lewis, what is up, baby?
Wichita from the very beginning. Okay.
So interesting.
Basically, they have not let go of the Wyatt Earp days.
That's true.
And I'm just trying to be Doc Holliday, bro.
Whoa.
Colton,
Sorry.
can you not operate your own computer?
Do you know who the mayor of Joplin is?
The question is, should I give two monkey shits about who the mayor of Joplin is?
Yes.
He is
Michael Seibert.
Yeah, he looks like someone who's taking money under the table. He just has one of those faces. He was like Harvey Weinstein.
Oh,
Point
dude.
0.
I want him to come on the podcast. Don't scare him away.
He should be scared of me.
I don't think he's scared of you.
If he talked to me in person, he sure would be. I'd cut him down in his prime. I'd open the door to all of his fallacies.
So what's
and
going
his
on Wednesday? You guys going to a concert?
We're going to. I want to talk about Wichita.
What is?
Yeah, no, we're going to an Excision concert.
I've never
because
even heard of it.
He's like a dubstep EDM artist.
EX.
EXCISION, I believe. He goes pretty hard. He does a good party. He's not huge, not mainstream, but like he's been in the scene a long, long time.
This kind of guy? This guy? Huh. I like that background.
My face is gonna get melted off.
Is it just a one dude, like Skrillex type thing?
I don't know, but I do know one thing for sure. I'm gonna headbutt Colin, and I'm gonna mean it. He better wear a hard hat to
This
the
is in
concert.
Kansas City?
Yeah, the Arvest. Literally across the road from where he lives.
Fuck.
And he won 2 tickets to every show this year.
What do you mean every show?
Every show they have at Arvest this year, he won 2 tickets to.
Holy shit.
And he said it was the first contest he ever entered.
This guy's cool.
Yeah, no, he's a little bit. There's a little bit of metal influence in there, and there's like some hardcore dubstep, and then, yeah, I guess he's probably more dubstep than he is anything else. But it's just, I mean, it goes hard.
It's a lot of
That's
dubstep.
and that's one thing I learned from, especially like the Mad Decent block party that I went to at
Is that Kansas City?
yeah, Power and Light District, like Diplo's label, Mad Decent.
Oh, okay.
They had like a block party there. That's where I saw Slushy and Diplo so my life was complete.
That's cool.
But it even like Chill Step, like I'm trying to think of the name.
Wednesday.
2 days from now.
Whatever.
You're gonna go to the Arvest tomorrow night.
I don't
You're
know
gonna.
what day it is.
You
okay?
won 2 tickets to every show at the Arvest for the rest of the
I did.
year.
I won 2 tickets. It's the
What?
first contest I ever entered.
What is the lineup like for the rest of the year? Like,
Well, he saw Jim Gaffigan. Did you?
No
not?
shit.
No. I saw Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh,
wow.
Who's Jerry
I saw
Seinfeld?
Chris Angel, by the way, sucks ass.
Oh, really?
Mind
he's
freak,
a
dude.
magician.
He
Obviously.
sucks. He's like.
Oh, I'm
the
sorry. He's an
He's
illusionist.
the shittiest 50-year-old David Blaine you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, that sucks.
And then
I am not David Blaine. I am Chris Angel. Welcome to my show. I wear black and I'm tatted up, and I am
you know
going
that
to.
one magician? Not David Blaine. The other one.
saw Tyler the Creator.
What is that? A band or?
It's like a rapper.
You shut up.
He wasn't that good.
Up.
Damn. I got a bunch. Like,
Do they have shows like every day?
No, they like every weekend.
Okay.
So we're going to see Excision. And
It's awesome
then-
that it's right across from your living quarters.
like, I don't think they were banking on that. They're like, oh, this dude will probably only come to like 1 or 2 shows. I'm like, I live across the street. You
Right. I'm
idiot.
going to all of them.
I'm like, whatever I'm doing on a Tuesday night. Like,
Dude, Yard House is like walking distance from your place.
oh yeah,
That was awesome.
I love Yard House.
Oh my god.
Well, my interpretation of all this is that means as much alcohol as I can possibly ingest
Why don't you just do
with
acid?
with no risk
Do acid.
of having to drive.
Drive home, yeah, you'll be across the street.
Yeah, so I can puke in his apartment.
Although I did live above a bar, and it was a lot harder getting home than you thought it would.
We
be.
were Kelsey and I were on a date at 609 the other day, and we were just thinking about you living above this place. Like,
Did you look at the people around and be like,
Yes.
he was above this all the time?
but well,
Not cool.
well, that part crossed my mind. But the other part of like you being down there all the time, like drinking or eating.
You're like, yeah, you could text me and be like, oh my god, we're below you. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, coming out. I did.
Oh, I
all
know,
the time.
dude.
It was fun.
That's a different life.
I had 4 gin
Nah,
and tonics today.
That's a
honestly,
cool place. 609 is a badass place.
I love 609.
I said we go right now.
Yeah, I could go to 609.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, we could go eat.
Gin and tonic.
But
I had 4.
I was super
was
stoked to
happy
live
hour.
above there. Like it
was
was
cool.
nice, but like I like not having the temptation every time I come home to get my mail, kind of thing. You know,
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, the
alcohol's
way that you
constantly there.
the way that you walked out to the street, you had to cross the bar.
Yeah,
You know, like
exactly.
it's right there.
Yeah, if I want to get to my car,
Did you
I
pay
went-
for
I
your
went through the
drinks?
bar.
Did you have to pay for your drinks?
Half the time.
See, that's even scarier. That's even scarier. That's just like an open bar all the
no,
time.
it was just because like that's my cousin's mom that owns the
Right.
restaurant.
That's what I mean. Like
So-
yeah, you're saying how hard it was to walk by. Like you don't even have to get your
She was
wallet
super
out.
sweet. So
Yeah.
I'd like come home, like get my mail, and just look like shit. And she'd be like, "What's wrong, Colin?" And I'd be like,
What's
I just
wrong,
had a
Colin?"
bad day at work. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let me get you a drink. You tell me
Yeah,
all
right,
about it."
right.
She was a super great aunt.
How long has she done that? That place has been around
How
for quite a while.
long? Oh God, longer than I can remember.
20 years?
More than that.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Beyond my life.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's been there
22 years?
Ever. Like her parents founded it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
So
know that.
it's a family business.
It's cool, man. It feels like
I've been
it
surrounded by
feels
family
like
businesses my
Joplin.
entire
How
life.
it feels like how Joplin
It does
should
feel
be.
like Joplin. Like
Well, that's how Joplin should be.
there should be definitely more places like it.
Infusion's cool.
Infusion's cool. I didn't know it was back.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet.
Well,
so
yeah. Well, maybe we can go there too.
whatever you
What's
guys
the one
wanna do.
place on 32nd? Is it 1201 or something like that?
Yep, that's 609's other restaurant.
But it's like a brunch thing.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I've never been there.
I haven't either. Well, we went the other day, but
I
it
don't go
was-
to 32nd to eat. Like
It's
and I
kind of
never
out of the
did.
way.
Yeah,
It's way out of the way.
it's just like, I'll tell you what, dude. Postmates has like changed my life.
What is it?
Postmates.
Mail order bride service.
Have you ever,
Can I use a promo code that they gave you?
Postmates is
It's
a
in Russian,
food
so-
delivery service from everything you can imagine.
Do they use Uber?
They can take Sonic. They can go and get you Sonic and bring it to you.
And this is in Kansas City.
Yes.
Let me ask you this: do you have Amazon same day shipping in Kansas City?
Not really.
Oh,
But I might. If
are you not a Prime?
No. I don't know what I want to first of all, I don't shop very often. Like, I'm probably the least shopper
I got a question.
you could ever imagine.
Where do you get your groceries from? Like, do you
I
go
live,
buy
I
them?
live
Yeah.
above a grocery store.
Yeah.
Do you go buy them though?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time I do, or I order, or I go out.
Every-
and eat.
I would say you
Well,
eat out
yeah.
a lot more.
I eat out a lot.
When the
Yeah.
girlfriend
It's
becomes
way,
right there.
like, way too much.
It's
I
right
eat out.
there.
Yeah.
when the girlfriend becomes your wife, you gotta worry about
That
it
way,
anymore.
let's
that's a
calm
good
down
question.
here.
How do you feel about marriage?
I feel like marriage is probably one of the most difficult things you could ever agree to do with a person, but I
Agreed.
think the rewards are pretty well worth it if it's with the right person.
Reward.
Like I know it's hard. Like, my parents struggled with their marriage, but they made it through, and I think that was pretty cool. But that, I mean, this is like throughout my entire life, you know. Like, I know they had the rough patches,
Right.
But they worked through it together.
Like, is it in the cards for you at this moment? Like, even an inkling, like 1%.
First of
Or
all,
is it just
You don't have to answer that.
First of all, marriage has always been in the cards for me mainly
Right.
because I want to be a dad.
Yeah.
Like, I've always wanted to be a dad.
Yeah.
I think being a father is probably one. It could be like the greatest sense of fulfillment you could ever ask for. As a human
Biologically,
being.
I would assume so.
Yeah, and I think I am kind of afraid my kids will be sociopaths, like able to outthink me, like I was my parents.
Probably so.
Yeah, like Colin.
But that's
Colin learned how to hack the security system of the house when he was in freshman year of high school.
Right.
Like, shit. And my kid will be like, "Oh, he just stole
Your
all
kid-
my.
I hacked
He
Daddy's.
just stole all my credit card information."
kid will be
He's like
mad at
sixth
you.
grade.
He's like,
Your
I
kid-
hacked Daddy's pacemaker.
No, like your kid will be mad at you and be like, "I'm hacking his vehicle right now."
But the thing,
and
ooh.
right back will break. He was going 82.
That would be hilarious, and it's not a bad idea. But
Possible.
for me, like, marriage, I want to be with someone that understands me for me, and that's the scariest thing. Is like, I don't think anybody really understands me for me. I think she
I
is starting
understand
to.
you.
Is that because you prevent people from understanding you, though?
Yeah. No, I have like serious walls and barriers. Like, I don't want to be vulnerable. Nobody wants to be vulnerable
I don't have any
and
fears.
like share who they really are, kind of thing.
No,
It's scary, but if I ever went into marriage, it would be under no veil of like illusion. Like, I know that marriage is absolutely difficult. Like, you're asking an impossible thing of a person to just deny every like urge they have to be like a caveman and just like bam, like bring
Yeah.
a girl like home. Like
right.
but
Right.
I truly do think that it's worth it if you can find the right person to work it with. And it's about building a life. It's tough.
Mhm.
Like, you got to build a life with someone. And like, you know, you and Kelsey, you've built a life together. I look around here, this place has changed every time I come here. It's amazing. And it looks even better every time I come here.
Thanks, dude.
There's baby chicks in the kitchen.
There is.
Baby chicks
They were in the
kitchen.
podcast studio. I had to move them.
And for what you are being like today,
I would argue
shut up.
it's not about. I mean, sometimes it's about building
Satanists
a
at the end of
life.
the table.
You
Sometimes-
just a minute ago that Courtney was one of the most amazing people you've ever met.
And
she
now
loves
I'm-
you for you.
And now I'm going to admit something that could, add technically 10, 15 years onto my prison sentence. Sometimes, Colin, it's about building a life, and sometimes it's about taking one.
Taking a life.
What do you think about fatherhood?
We discussed this the other day, and you know what I feel about it. Don't have to ask me in front
Well,
of everybody.
I mean, people want to know. I'm really interested. I'm very surprised that you want to be a dad. No offense or anything. I just didn't take you for that.
Here's the thing about that. I know I'll have all daughters because of the terrible things I've done in this life.
Sexist.
So from that, God will punish me accordingly.
Are you having
And that's
a
fine.
son or an abortion?
No. Oh my God.
That's off Borat. It's not my own writing.
It reminds me.
I want daughters.
It reminds me of like Daniel Tosh.
Oh my God.
Where it's like you should never joke about rape. It would be funny if your daughter got raped.
Oh.
He'd be like, she just filed the abortion. He goes, talk about 2 strikes against a kid.
Dude, Tosh.
That's his new special. It's so great.
Dude, I love
Anyway, children, right? Well, I have a nephew and a niece and a cat, and let me tell you, it like the thought of another little me, kind of on Colin's lines. I feel like
Do you want?
Nah.
What?
No.
Oh,
Colin, you're gonna want to hear this.
go ahead. Continue.
So it's like
Yep.
so you take all those nice, fancy, for cellular level impulses and just caveman like little me protect,
Right.
and children. I
I
mean,
roasted it myself.
children, they can withstand a lot. I mean, look at me.
Fair.
Obviously, okay.
He's not damaged.
I know. I don't have a crack anywhere. I'm fine. I don't have any fears, guys. I told you that already. Would you just listen?
Go ahead.
I'm making a point, okay? But like little Kaleb, right? And like my nephew, he is Lucifer incarnate, right? He is a small satanic kid with just bounds and bounds of energy. And I was in passing, I commented on it like, man, that's poor parenting. Which it's not, but
And that shut dinner down.
on
right.
on separate, and I haven't seen him since, but I have hope. Both my grandmother and my mother told me on separate occasions, independently of one another, that they're like, oh, he doesn't act like Kyle. Kyle was much more cerebral and calm. I'm like, must be his mom's side. No, he acts like you did. Exactly, like captive audience, always wants attention.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he just looks at me. And he holds up a book
My
he
mentor.
wants me to he holds up his book he wants me to read to him. And I'm like, we've already read that book. Do you not retain any information? Like, you're almost 2, okay? Get your crap together. And then I'm thinking, like, how do they, like, keep him alive? Like, how do you keep, like, you feed it, obviously, but, like,
It's a good question.
traffic? Do
Good
you let him
question.
play in it? These are questions I need answered.
No, I think that's
But-
a valid
And I
question.
think you ask those questions whenever you've literally like woken up the next day from like a night you had and been like, "Oh man, another hour, I might not have made it." Like,
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But in a short answer of how I feel about children, the deepest...
Isn't it like when children? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The deepest, most potent, most authentic feeling of fear, terror, absolutely debilitating sense of like purpose towards this one thing. And then at any moment, it's like, no, stand there. And it's all over. And you're just like, I'm not going through another one of those.
I asked my brother the same thing. Like when he had his kid, it's like, I'm like, how did you get through? Like, I'm like, you're raising a kid. Like the other
Yeah.
day, we were doing like Jaeger bombs together.
Right.
Like, how did you just take the street? He's like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
There is
right.
no choice.
Yeah.
That kid is coming.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, kind of thing. And
Not if my vasectomy
I
had
think
anything
I
about
think
it.
my brother's a great dad.
Yeah.
Like I'm really.
How
proud of
old's
him.
your nephew?
He's 1 year old in
Okay.
2 months.
Okay.
Can he retain books that you read to him? Or is mine just
See,
behind?
here's what
But he's not at words yet.
kids blow my mind in the sense of like when you were a kid, both of you were spawned from the ether, but when you were a kid,
Hatched.
hatched. He ate his
was-
brothers and sisters.
He was born a platypus, and now he's here.
platypus. No, like the things that you did or thought as a kid and forgot as you became a man, and when the kid comes back in your life and reminds you, and you're like, oh shit, like I forgot those things.
I do worry about one thing actually.
What's that?
That now that you brought that up
Yeah.
is that I worry about not raising my kid in an environment like Columbus, Kansas. Like I actually do have nothing but good memories in Columbus, Kansas. No matter what I want to say about that town,
Right.
I have nothing but the best childhood. Like a childhood from a fantasy book. Like you could ride your bike down the street, not
Yeah.
worried about being child molested.
Yeah,
kind of
right,
thing.
right.
Like,
You could.
What's wrong?
Where were you living?
Columbus, Kansas.
Well, I mean, what about like a suburb of Kansas City? Would that be possible?
You're
You're talking about where you
I've
live
thought
now?
about that, and it's just like I'm like, would they ever get the experience? And you know, my cousins have moved back to Columbus to live there. And
Are you
kinda
going to?
revitalize the town? Dude, I don't know.
I don't think
Here's the thing.
I couldn't
Probably
see it.
not.
I couldn't see it.
One, because I don't think work would ever support it infrastructural wise with like web access. The amount of download speed is just killer when it comes to workflow when you work with outside people. Second, I don't really think I could recreate the environment I had in Columbus back when I was a kid
For your
versus today.
children.
Yeah,
Right.
but I have
put a
seen
VR
I have seen all
headset
my
on.
cousins move back and like all my uncles and aunts and come over for one big family dinner, and that was cool. And like the other kids were there, and I could see how happy they were just running around, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it was enticing. It was the only time in the last 10 years that I've ever thought back about moving to Columbus. And I looked at my uncle. I'm like, "You got a lot for sale? What's going on?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, just tell me when." Like.
So to kind of piggyback off that,
That's cool
have
that
you
you said that.
have you guys ever given like any serious thought to like how to fake your own death and leave the country?
All the time.
I knew he was going to say that.
Okay,
If I flip through Colin's diary, the third page would be like, ideas to fake my own death.
Oh, I know how
One.
to fake my own death.
Airplane crash.
That's not a problem.
2.
Okay,
Overdose
we
at
need
a concert.
We need to talk
3.
after the podcast.
We'll
anyway,
talk tomorrow night
back
at
to
Big
children
Station.
and families and suburbs and stuff.
Wednesday night. Damn it, I did it again.
He's so excited.
I feel
You
like
got one more full 24 hours.
I feel like I'm gonna go up there and he's just not gonna be.
I'll be like
there.
asleep when he gets there. No, I'll be ready.
He'll be fine. Well, boys, it's been fun.
2.5? That's not bad.
2.5. Is it?
How about one
Shit,
more
yeah.
killer subject? And then
Okay.
we call it. And then we go 6 and 9.
What's
Eat
it
some
going to
food.
be? Children, marriage, monogamy.
How about happy
Office.
subjects like
I'm
work
going.
and creative stuff and
Sure, we can talk about
Henry Rollins type stuff?
We can talk
Henry
about
Rollins.
industry stuff before we leave. What do you want to do?
Oh, okay. I had one thing in my mind I want to talk about.
Okay, go.
And it's based off like everything I always complain to you about. We always seem talking about the fallacies of my personality.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you have fallacies in your personality?
I know.
I've never experienced
It
that.
seems it seems outrageous that even a guy like me, but yes, I do. In the interest of full transparency,
This build-up's always great.
They're long,
They're
but
long,
they're worth
but
it.
they're worth it.
Yeah.
I like to lull my audience to sleep and then yank them back awake again into reality. No, I have an issue with a lot of Wichita. Like it's almost like I'm more sensitive up there because I'm probably looking for shit I don't like just because I don't like that area.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine when I could always come back down.
We warned you when you moved up.
You did. You could have like been more specific about things, but
But that's your choice, though, isn't it? That's your chosen perception.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, marriage is totally a choice. Anyway,
It is.
it's a mutual choice, obviously. I'm having a great time. No, I came across a Henry Rollins video on spoken word. He was talking about cynicism, and like I almost exited out of the tab just because I was like, I got shit to do. But I was like, one more Henry Rollins video won't hurt anybody.
All right.
One
He's
more.
awesome.
And he was talking about when he was in Black Flag, like back when he was younger. He talked about like how when he first traveled like toward the U.S. and saw everything, and then started traveling abroad to Europe and Australia and that stuff, and like how he just started to grow this like really healthy sense of just cynicism.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how the older he got, he realized how toxic that was. He realized that cynicism is and like the lazy form of intellectuals like way out. It's really easy to lump everything just based off your observations day to day into a category, so you don't actually have to like do the work and go out and meet like the majority.
To find the good in place.
The majority, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what he talks about when he goes internationally, just goes to countries and then just works his way east and then gets a flight back, a couple months later.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, I was listening to it and I was like, yeah. Black Flag. Oh,
Which
you pulled the rug out from under me on that one, Henry.
But he's right, Caleb. Like,
He is, and that's what made sense
there's
to
good
me.
and bad in all places. Like,
Right.
It's period. And like, I mean, Wichita's a tough one.
Well, it goes back to Jocko's good, right? Like, if you find yourself in Wichita, Kansas, good. You know?
But here's the thing: is like I'm not like Colton to where I could live out here between Columbus and Riverton, and make an entire like area that like fits my personality to where I'm comfortable and happy. But he's done that. Like he has created a place where the three of us can meet up after haven't seen each other for 4 months and hang out and feel at peace and have fun together. And that's pretty rare. When I was in Joplin, I tried to do that, but I don't think I accomplished it. I mean, I created a studio. I tried to make the best of my situation, but I was so determined to see the bad in places and not to get to know the people around me. And I probably wasn't hanging out with the right people at the same time.
Sorry.
It's really just chicks that were at 609.
Well, sometimes you have to go on a journey. You know, you have to go somewhere to remind yourself of where you came from.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I could have done this before I went to California.
Yeah.
And had that experience. And then I came back and it gave me this different perception of, well, I need to accept some of this and deny others.
I think it was
what
hard.
do I do?
I think it was hard for me coming from Miami, Florida, and Orlando, Florida, to back to Joplin, and
Right.
that was a transition.
Yeah.
And then I found my way to Kansas City, and that felt like home finally.
You have to
And
be
it
honest with
still
yourself.
feels like home,
Yeah,
so.
you have to be honest with yourself.
You just have to be like real. Be like, you know, there's certain places that I can go and find the good, and there's certain environments that I'm not going to thrive.
Right.
But if you can get to know the people in every place, I think you'll find good everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing stopping you.
The key would be get so in depth where you are that you could go anywhere, right? Like you could have so many hookups where it's like, dude, that guy owns a private jet. Like we can go to Seattle if we want to. You know, right? Maybe
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, I mean, Learjet and Cessna are right there, but
True.
I think I've ever been in a private jet, but fair enough.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
to me, like Wichita, like I perceive it as like at World's End, like until Denver, west of Wichita.
That's true.
You
That's
are
fucking
basically going through Mars.
Yeah.
You might as well be going through
Wichita
Mars.
has its pockets of cool stuff, though. I like
Where?
I like Bricktown. I like Bricktown.
See, like downtown to me, it's like I've never like gone downtown and not had like a sketchy interaction with just like people down there.
Dude, I walk outside my door every day and there's like homeless people. But I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't consider it sketchy. I just consider it the norm.
Okay, I'll try to illustrate it in my perception, which is always a dangerous thing. with Courtney, because I feel completely responsible for her death.
Oh my god.
Like
They're gonna play this in court.
in my. Please continue playing this video into this portion.
Cock and balls. They're gonna have to play that part
The
too.
jury's gotta have to hear that.
exactly.
Members, ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
What
I
an idiot!
apologize for the outburst of my friend Colton. Here is my reasoning.
I'll have to be in the
Courtney-
jury. I'll be there.
Courtney lacks what I call situational awareness, and maybe that's because
So
I'm.
every woman.
And maybe that's because I'm.
That's true.
Wow, that is a sexist comment. I don't agree with that.
no,
I'm
no,
a
it's not.
I
feminist.
gotta agree.
I am a feminist, but it's like
Feminist.
well, it's like she doesn't notice 95% of what I perceive as imminent harm to her livelihood. She is just like too trusting and too, just all the good qualities in women, but just to the nth degree.
I think you need to push yourself to the far end of the bad spectrum. Like
I need to take her to downtown
walk
Detroit,
downtown,
8 Mile.
walk downtown Orlando, see how well it goes in the ghetto. Like
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just take his word for it.
once
We're
you
going
feel,
right
Once you feel
now.
that fear, and then you go to Africa, you walk like the Kibera slum.
That's a different story
That-
altogether.
That's a nothing to
Suddenly,
lose
you're
kind of
not
danger.
scared of America anymore. Like things change, except Detroit. I'm still scared of Detroit.
Yeah, that's fair.
But see, this is where the dichotomy comes, because if it was just me, if it was just my life, which I don't hold in like really high regard, it's like what happens to me happens to me. Sure. But because I feel like I'm constantly trying to avert disaster with my
Wife.
with my co-financier.
Wow. Holy cow!
with my wife. I'm trying to keep her from walking into the street in my mind. The metaphorical
like is this
street.
date night? Like you guys go out to a bar? Like
What is date night? What do
Okay.
you guys
Mark
keep
the
talking
street, honey.
about?
We need to address that.
We
Let me ask you this:
we do things.
How much energy have you invested in exploring Wichita and engaging with the culture there?
Yeah, man.
She has forced me.
No.
No.
You, not Courtney. You. How much have you engaged with Wichita? Whether it's that go to a local pub
You
or
rolled through Yelp and found all the 5-star places, worked your way down.
5-star.
Like,
He's a Crossland.
You would
5-star rating, not
Oh.
5-star money.
I thought you
well.
meant restaurants. Find all the 5-star restaurants.
5-star
Let's go have
rating
breakfast.
on Yelp.
Sorry.
Not the $5 signs.
I was like,
I can't afford that.
Well, see, here's the problem. You'd have to drop that to 3 stars, or else you just wouldn't go anywhere. There is no 5-star establishment in Wichita. I have been downtown. My internship for entire summer was downtown,
Yeah.
and I just they had their history and everything. But to me, they always seem to be like an overpopulated Joplin trying to be a Kansas City.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like they're
good
trying
match. It's
to
a pretty good one.
they're trying to impersonate or mimic what they deem like a viable metropolis would be.
Yeah.
And
But what are they missing?
well, it seems like when the wind blows down here like really really hard, that's about 5-6 days out of the week up there because flat. And apparently no one was ever like, we should probably plant some evergreen trees.
Yeah, some wind blockers.
Just north and west. We'll just build outside the city. We're just going to plant trees,
Right. Whole forest.
and then maybe, 5 days out of the week, I won't get hit in the back of the head by my car or my car door closing behind me before I'm getting out.
So you're saying that like the weather is undesirable?
The weather's undesirable. The culture, to me, and they're good people. I want to preface that.
Would you be happier if you were in another city?
I have always
Or I want to
Fought.
ask the hard question.
I have
Do you think
always
I should ask it?
I have
Or
always fought.
would you be happy if you weren't married?
Oh, Jesus.
I thought you were behind me.
I
on
thought it
this.
was a way different
Do
question.
you need to cut
No.
this out?
Sorry.
No.
I can't cut all this shit out.
I have explained to Courtney that I would love to move with her to somewhere in the
Elsewhere.
northwest Arkansas area.
Yeah.
But again, she has been set on, staying in Wichita with her family. I can't fault her for that, and I completely see the validity in wanting to do that. She has her her safety net there. But in my mind, I'm 3 hours away from the closest person I consider relatable to or like a friend at all.
Yeah.
And love her family, very supportive, but very conservative and calm by all considerations. So the complete opposite of me.
Calm? Really? Interesting.
Calm.
That's an interesting description.
They're calm. Almost like they've accepted their fate.
Oh, wow.
In a relationship, you're in a band, and sometimes you're playing guitar, and other times you're playing the fucking tambourine. Tambourine, motherfucker. Play it right, Caleb.
How do you spell tambourine?
Play it right.
Q-U-M-B-T.
T-A-M-B-O-R.
Cunt spelled
Tambourine,
with a Q.
motherfucker, tambourine.
I will.
Do you think this is a temporary thing? As far as her wanting to be with her family, and after a while she's going to go, you know what? I want to build a family with
Pretty
you.
soon her family's going to have their own family.
Yeah.
They're gonna
That,
leave
that,
kind of thing. Yeah.
that is absolutely true.
There is,
Well,
a shelf life. I see her going to all the games,
That's
the
how-
high school games.
that's what's
you guys are
happening.
at, and
Yeah, that's
that's not
exactly.
going to last forever. They're
That's
gonna
what's
go
happening to
college.
Kelsey's family.
Hopefully they'll go to KU or something. Yeah.
No, most of all of her family are Division I graduates, either from Wichita State, Kansas State, or KU. Which is funny for me coming from some
I
a
heart
background.
Wichita State. We're building it.
Yes.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Building what? Like just more buildings? Or?
This is an innovation.
Lit-
There's an
literally,
innovation campus.
At the basketball press board area, where you see.
At Caleb's wedding, we were in the middle of a job site there too. We were still building it. We're still doing it now.
Like Coke Arena during the state basketball, you see just like a Crossland,
Oh, I
Crossland
kinda remember
construction
that.
logo right in the basketball court. I'm just like,
you got
I'm like,
married
they're
in-
everywhere.
You got married in August?
June 4th.
It was hot. Felt good.
No, I just remember wedding day, bitches.
I remember the
Left for
rave was
KC.
awesome. But no, it's just like I feel like there's good people there, but I feel like my personality type does not fit in with the status quo and 99% of like their value systems and everything else. It's just like
I could see that.
they're very like legacy thinking, pretty much good old farm people who either fell into their parents' business.
I think
and
you
have
need to wander. I think that's the best thing you can do right now. Like, you need to be a wandering creative, just being you and doing what you want to do, kind of thing. Like, go to arcade bars, or go to like maybe not arcades, not children's.
That's
arcades.
cool. No, I like arcade
Like, go to
bars.
arcade bars, or go to like bars and like, jot down your notes. Like, make it a regular thing of where you're going out and being in an area where you can recognize other people that are kind of like you, and then
They're there.
Yeah.
You know, they're there.
be like a CIA agent. Develop assets. Mark your
But-
targets.
What if the
And
only
what's after marking your target?
Oh,
Use, abuse. Get
this
what you
is
need
this is
and
going
move
to be
on.
Oh
played
my.
in court too. But what if the only thing I ever want to do is work?
I mean,
It's
that's fine.
probably deeper than that, though.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit deeper than that.
No one just wants to work. Usually they're running from something if they're just working the whole time.
But
Like
it's,
Tesla.
But it's like the only thing I like enjoy doing. I enjoy creating.
Then create more.
Yeah.
I'm trying. God.
Figure out something new to do. Just
You don't just enjoy creating, though,
Turn
like-
your
This is fun. I guess we're creating.
We're
content,
creating.
though. Yeah.
It's the only reason I agreed to come.
the biggest thing to really test yourself, and this is before like really like I think it was before you were here. Like, was I here before you? I think I was.
What are you talking about?
Like, when I lived in
Like life?
I lived in this area before you.
He's
Before you
1,000
came back
years
from
old.
Cali.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I have not. I started here in 2015.
Like, I felt like I didn't know anybody here for the longest time, and I turned that loneliness into a test of like, I think the greatest test in life is, can you be alone? And if you're okay with who you are and you figure out who you are, you can handle that. But it's rough and it's not easy at all.
Can be.
But I turned that like emptiness of an area in my life into a way that I could better myself in my like passion. Like, I built my skill set based on that loneliness. Like, I don't think I had any friends when I graduated, and that's how I learned videos, because I was just doing late nights in the studio, late nights in my office learning, and that's how I got good at video. So I turned that into something. It's different for everybody. It may not be that for you. It could be just like going out and doing your thing.
Well, to me, like that does parallel, because I feel like maybe creating up there and always wanting to be working is like how I like kind of align back with my friends, but I never feel lonely up there. If anything, I always feel like
You have your work. And the cat.
yes. And the cat, she's pretty needy too, just always there.
Right.
If you can build your self-esteem around your work is never gonna fail. Like, for you, I wouldn't say that for everybody.
Your self-esteem might.
I would say not for everyone.
You have to have self-esteem for it to fail.
You'll benefit out of benefiting your creative process. Like, turn that void in your life into something that fuels something else. And I don't think you'll always be in Wichita, dude.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
This is probably pretty.
I may
temporary.
not always be in KC.
Temporary in the sense of like 5 years doesn't seem temporary, but really is. Makes
I could be
sense.
dead.
Life is
Well,
vast and
or-
ever-ending, and it can
Oh, yeah.
change.
Just
on
think
a
about.
whim.
Yeah. You could easily get a call. I mean, what would happen if Northwest Arkansas marketing agency called you, said, "We want you, $150K. We have everything ready to go. Just come down, pick a house out." Like, Courtney can't say no to that.
This is what I would do to that. I'd be like, counter offer. I got
70 grand a year.
I already
Okay.
have a crew. We're just gonna set up shop, and then you can freelance out to us.
That's not bad.
Hello. They hung up on me.
They'll call back. They always call back.
You were supposed to call me back.
They never called back. Shut up. Your negativity is ruining everything.
I mean, a lot of the same way that we don't really know where technology is going. We don't really know where this workplace is going.
Are these your closing thoughts? Let's all do closing thoughts.
I know where
can
my
do
bladder's
closing thoughts.
going, and it's going to burst.
Hang in there, buddy.
Alright,
I
you're
will say
next.
this. Colin can work from anywhere. You're down in Dallas working, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to Kansas City. You have all these hubs that you can work at. So you may live in Derby, but you can work anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Like that is this is the golden age of working anywhere. You have a camera, as long as you have the connections and the technology and the equipment, which you have all three of those, you can work anywhere.
It's a prime business model to provide offices for creatives and freelancers.
Yeah.
Yeah. People do it.
All the time. And you
I know all of this.
Hollywood's
You guys know that, right?
leaked out of Hollywood. Hollywood's gone everywhere. It's global right now. You know, the
Yeah, I know.
Chinese box office is insane. The Russian box office, Moscow box office is insane.
Godira.
Australia's
Godira.
kicking ass. Like it's everywhere. But I mean, the opportunity is definitely there. But you know, look at Derby as a home base, and the world as your office.
Did you have to go with the
Derby's-
baseball reference?
Derby.
You insensitive fuck.
What? Oh, home
It's
base.
your home base.
Sorry.
Remember, because you
baseball.
suck
Totally.
and got hurt.
Yeah.
Didn't think of.
Why did you say that?
No one was thinking that, kid.
Nope.
But
Anyway, Mr. Crossland.
yeah, I would just say that, like, my success has always been on the amount of amazing things I can make people feel about what they do in their everyday lives. I want to make that steel worker feel like they are the greatest. They are building the future of America for their children. I want to make that project manager who's like juggling 5 different jobs at the same time realize what a giant contribution he's making to the future of his community. And I want to make everybody inside one brand feel like they're bettering America. And I can do that from anywhere. It doesn't have to be in Kansas City. I did it in Joplin, and Joplin was rough for me. It was dangerous for me even more.
Yeah.
Just morally.
Let me off here.
Just morally. But
Here's good.
but overall, I tried my best to seek out creative people. I found you and Colton, like when you guys got here, like when you moved here with Kelsey, and when you were here with Colton, I found you. And through that, I've never worked with anybody in my regular day-to-day job, but I rely on the interactions I have with you that have bettered me as a creative. And so from there, I mean, I'm entirely grateful, and thank you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Likewise. And that was very inspiring, but it's going to be overshadowed by what I'm going to have to say.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. You guys did great.
I don't read the script. The script reads me. Colton,
That's pretty
That's
good.
your ending. You got to pee really bad, don't you?
look at my face, Brady.
He does.
Yeah,
does.
he's peeing
He
out
needs
his
to be real
eyes.
bad.
What's that?
I had a catheter in when I was getting my appendix out, and let me tell you, I just feel
You guys have been great.
I just
drank
feel
whiskey all
like
night, and I want you to know I'm not like this.
I feel like
Yeah, green tea.
whenever like I was done with surgery, whoever removed it, like they were in a hurry. Like they did not care how this was gonna feel tomorrow, because I had to pee before I got released.
It's their 10th catheter that day.
And that was the most painful urination of my life. Okay? So yeah, when you get your appendix out, they're going to put a catheter in. It's going to hurt. Grin and bear it.
Life advice by Kaleb
We gonna
Clark.
be all right.
Chapter 1. Grin and bear it.
I don't read the script. The script reads me.
Fair enough.
Dude, you guys have been awesome. Like, so my best friends, I look up to both of you. I wish you the best in all future endeavors. I'd like to continue to work with both of you and drink with
Jiu-jitsu.
you. And jiu-jitsu.
I did jiu-jitsu with
Let's
Colton.
Go 609 and get some food.
Let's
I'm
do
starving.
something,
I'm
yeah.
starving.
Colton tapped me out in jiu-jitsu.
Twice.
It's good to see him.
It
But
was
I
his first role.
But I almost tapped him out twice when he was exhausted.
Yeah, I will admit that. Hey, thanks for listening today. I had a really good time with these two. Thank you, Collin Crossland
Always.
and Mr. Kaleb Clark.
Please hold your applause to the end.
If you want to come on the podcast was. What'd you just knock over?
That's the painting.
Damn it, Caleb.
That's the painting I was doing while we were podcasting. You guys didn't even notice, but that's
Every time we cut away.
That's my interpretive painting.
All right, if you want to come on the podcast, shoot me a text message, tweet, Facebook, all that good stuff. You can get a hold of me.
Or just show up at the house.
Or just show up at the house, yeah, on a Monday afternoon.
Pet the chickens.
They're vicious.
I wouldn't pet them.
You can find Collin Crossland on Instagram at Crossy. What is it?
Collin Crossland.
Collin Crossy. And you can you're pretty active on what? Nothing.
Tinder.
And on that note, I'm out of here.
No, it's actually a great social network.
That's hilarious. That's good. That's fucking good. Everybody, thank you for listening to today's podcast. We will be back next week with somebody, I don't know, someone good. And hit up the Facebook page, hit up the Twitter, the Instagram, all that good stuff. So, peace and love to all of you out there. Have a great week. Peace.